that's what I believe. See, his sunshine is all around us, and there are beautiful clouds where you are. That's how I know that these worries will not last. I can see you've been crying and staying wide awake, asking yourself why the journey is so tough. They say tough times never last, only tough people do. So don't stop believing, I know it's gonna be better. Say la, 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 ba-dum, ba-dum, boom, la, 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 ba-dum. Can't be loved by everybody, it's impossible, you know. And trust me, it's okay, so let the toxic people go. Your peace within is more priceless than a pearl. You got to be happy, cause life's just way too short. Don't stress the little things, they will only waste your time. Just take it easy, easy like a nursery rhyme. And I'm singing, I know it's gonna be okay. So wanna see you smile today. Hey, you just gotta be happy, man. Good days, bad days, it's all part of life. But you must keep the groove on and enjoy every single day. I'm sure you've had some happy days before. So what makes you think you can't have more? Keep on fighting and you'll see. You will soon see rainbows. Hey, come on! La, 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 la. La, 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 la. Ba-dum, ba-dum, boom. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. Ba-dum, ba-dum, boom. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. Ba-dum, ba-dum, boom. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. Beautiful clouds, where you are, where you are. There are beautiful clouds, where you are, where you are. Oh, oh.
people of South Africa do not know what happened before they gained their freedom. The whole of this continent stood behind South Africa. The whole of Africa stood behind South Africa to fight against apartheid. I remember all of us growing up as secondary school children, went on marches. We were part of the African Youth Command. We demonstrated, we boycotted classes and all that, all in the fight against apartheid. Indeed, for several of the countries where their citizens have been brutalized in South Africa, these are countries that were called frontline states that harbored the freedom fighters, of South Africa and gave them safe haven, gave them passports, to be able to avoid the clutches of the apartheid regime. Nigeria, even though not a neighbor of South Africa, was considered a frontline state because of the economic contribution that Nigeria did to the ANC to be able to liberate South Africa from apartheid. And so it is regrettable that the same people who fought against apartheid, are being attacked in this way. I think that it's an issue that we are all worried about because of the specific circumstances of South Africa. And it's most regrettable and most unfortunate. I think that the young people of South Africa do not know what happened before they gained their freedom. The whole of this continent stood behind South Africa. The whole of Africa stood behind South Africa to fight against apartheid. I remember all of us growing up as secondary school children, went on marches. We were part of the African Youth Command. We demonstrated, we boycotted classes and all that, all in the fight against apartheid. Indeed, for several of the countries where their citizens have been brutalized in South Africa, these are countries that were called frontline states that harbored the freedom fighters, of South Africa and gave them safe haven, gave them passports, to be able to avoid the clutches of the apartheid regime. And even Nigeria, even though not a neighbor of South Africa, was considered a frontline state because of the economic contribution that Nigeria did to the ANC to be able to liberate South Africa from apartheid. And so it is regrettable that the same people who fought against apartheid, are being attacked in this way. The pictures we've seen are very horrible. As ECOWAS, we've issued a statement condemning what is happening. The unfortunate thing is this is not the first time. It keeps flaring up. And so while we are condemning this,
we are fixing this continent. This thing of you guys moving from one country to the other, it's no longer working. We don't want this as African people anymore. We are tired of seeing African migrants moving all over the world, refusing to fix your own countries. Now we're making it very clear to you guys, Utitina, we don't want you here. We want you to fix your countries. Now you came here with a traveling document. You came with a passport. You know that you are a visitor, but now you decided to come and integrate in our communities. You know very well that what you have done is wrong.
How many children do you have here?
We can come to Ghana and do what you're doing.
Passport.
Eh? Now you are carrying a bucket. It's 11 a.m. You were supposed to be fighting the government of Ghana there to ensure that they are getting things right.
No, there's no fight in Ghana. You must fight once a day.
Where's your papers?
Passport.
Passport.
Where's your passport?
Take it out.
Let me see your passport. Let me see. Luna. Okay, tell me. Who's the police officer that you are bribing to certify these things for you? Baba, let me tell you. I'm not foolish. These things, let me tell you, you know by law you're not supposed to certify as an immigrant. You're not allowed to certify your passport.
No.
Okay, why do you certify your passport in a foreign land?
Okay.
Let's just start there. Why do you certify your passport in a foreign land?
You see, it was raining.
I follow you guys now on Facebook. How you?
It was raining these days, and when you go out with the passport, sometimes it gets spoiled. That is why I satisfy it so that it won't spoil.
Baba, Ghana don't do that.
Okay.
Ghana don't do that.
All right, sharp.
Ghana
Let me
is
show
the
you.
only African country that is.
Let me show you that when you are abusing our systems, on the 10th of April, okay, the 10th of April, you entered your country when The very same day you came back. It's a proof. Proof. Here's the proof.
That crocodile can't go.
You went to Ghana on the 10th, and then you came back.
No,
because here it says you exited Ghana to South Africa. Here it says you entered, here you exited. And it's the same date. It's the 10th of April, 10th of April.
This stamp you got there in Elof Street, on the street, this is where you got the stamp.
Oh, they've got a connection here.
No.
I am telling you, that's where they buy it from.
Don't
No,
lie,
it's-
sweetie. Papers don't. We are fixing this continent. This thing of you guys moving.
Imabili abako. Say ubia empe asendia maoye. Bidi ekoyi boko. Ebusia no say ubia onwe very well. So Ima came over today. We've had extensive discussions. I have also expressed the goodwill from His Excellency the President and also the Honorable Minister Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa to him that we are here to serve him. We are here to ensure that we protect the interests of the Ghanaian people. Our concern is to make sure that he's okay, and he's right here with us, believing that whatever we are doing diplomatically to solve the problem, we will work together with both governments to ensure that it's done. Ima uwasem kaka obeso kache dana fwana.
Sasem kaka mekanse nehuye. Yidi ne koso ne ene ajana no moya mesana meti. Yango pando boni ni anto hoye na. Yesu ne ha komisi wa hano pe ya. Ye ne nguta ho di nti bi aboko.
Te pese kache we busi afoso of Morgana. And there's all my me opinion by TJ.
Ti na mese wa batampa.
Waba.
Big kwa kuma to ya.
Amen. Amen. And to encourage the Ghanaian population that the situation is dire, we understand. Let's continue to be law-abiding. Let's continue to respect the rules and regulations and the rules of engagement as migrant citizens in this country. I think that whatever it is that we do, we've always been noted as Ghanaians to be law-abiding. We've always been noted as being people who don't foment trouble. So let's not go that route yet. Let's continue to engage with them. And I'm sure that it's just a matter of time. Everything will be all right. And whatever the Minister, Honorable Okudzeto Ablakwa, together with the good Minister of Department of International Relations, the Honorable Lamola, are doing, will be able to resolve the issue, and then we move on. So thank you to all Ghanaians, wherever you find yourself. As your servant leader, I ask you to be law-abiding. I ask you to be patient. We've asked some of you, for example, in Mtata, not to open your shops today. We'll be sending that advisory to most of the other provinces where we pick up any information. Our belief is that let's work together to ensure that we don't have casualties. Let's work together to ensure that whatever it is that we do will continue to foster that bilateral relationship that we have between South Africa and Ghana. Thank you. Thank you.
All of us as African leaders must condemn that. And we must remind those fringe elements who are in the extreme minority that they cannot divide us, that we remain united in our common struggles, in our common destiny, and that our solidarity is unshaken, is unbreakable, and we will continue to band together as Africans. And that is why we will continue to hold more PJCCs with our African brothers and sisters, and we'll continue to roll out policies that are forward-looking to attract more Africans. And that's why you heard President Mahama recently, during the state visit of President Mnangagwa of Zimbabwe, announce that next month, when Ghana rolls out a new e-visa policy, Africans will not be charged any fees. You will apply for your visa, be vetted, be screened, but you will not pay the fees that others will pay. We continue to believe in Pan-Africanism, and we continue to believe that it is only when Africa unites that Africa's full potential will be realized, as our founder, the Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, said. So it is really regrettable that at this time, when we've won such a huge victory at the United Nations, the Global South has come together, all Africans, people of African descent have come together, 123 countries sending a clear message against the transatlantic enslavement of our forebears, that in this modern era, we will see such hatred, such xenophobia against each other, against Africans. It is totally unacceptable, it is condemnable, and we will do everything as a government to protect our nationals and to make sure that we demand from the South African government to protect our citizens and to keep them safe, because they owe them that duty of care. Just as we will continue to make sure that all South Africans living in Ghana are safe, are protected, and we will not encourage any reprisal attack. We will condemn it, and we will not even contemplate it. And we know that Ghanaians are very welcoming, very hospitable, very peace-loving people, and they will not do that. So I do hope that this will be the last round of xenophobic attack that we will be seeing in South Africa.
Bakhathala izinto zabantu bona sebelwana abantu futhi bakube yabo iproblem ilapho manje babona futhi ngebehole bona ngoba nakho kuseqale so iproblem manje sekulabantu abamnyama abamnyama iplo security company leyo yabo abantu abagadayo abagada letola zabantu bokufika mayona iproblem isikho bahlanyanga ndiyabona ngamasheke yona sithi lo uzosuka khona yedwa la mhlawumbe ngathi uyena baphethe ufundo baphethe nenzani baba la
kahle kahle into esiyenza la emgaqweni sisebenzisana nezitolo siphinde sikooperate ubugebengu emgaqweni so ukwenza kwethu kanjalo kuthe mase kusuka lento emashi ngoba besithini esikhathi idolo kuthe mayiswa lento emashi sasezama ukuthi nikhathi ikoridono zamakorokwela akhona nemthethweni amakorokwela kukhona asemthethweni akhona ngeke emthethweni manje ke nikhatha zonke kodwa ngiyangithi manje ke ufuna amakorokwela uhambe ke manje asesidakole enough asesidakole enough amakorokwela phansi amakorokwela phansi into ezokwenza baba yokela sinima sala sodwa indaba amakorokwela fuseke nani nemikhathayo siyacela nje yazo kwethu asidlala ngisuka goli yaze ngilale phethe umkhuhlane silungisela ukuya goli siyaklina manje unola vele kuliwe ke makuliwa vele kuliwe makuliwa unamhlonishwa besicela ukuthi ukuze le nto ilungiseke kahle abeze ngaphambili ama-leaders alelo khona sokwazi ukuthi sishanele ngendlela kahle
ibo yiphi le security company evimbayo yiphi obani lapho
i-CPF yala emgaqweni
ubani iphi ngoba nako bomthetho abakhona
no inkinga nina senixabana nodwa nina abantu abamnyama laba abasebenza ezitolo abasebenza la sebelwa yibona laba abashaya laba bemachini manje laba bokufika bathula idu nina nixabana nodwa enisibukanisa nabantu kade sinikhulu
namanyala nizelana namanyala
nina nixoxa
baba la usebenza nabo ababize benzela
sambe khona nizobashaya you guys are wrong
aphi ngizotamari ngiyabona yabona umuntu omntwana obukhuluma
uma kuukuthi thina
aphi la mali dazi
What are you here for? You here to eat? What do you want to do? Yeah? We want to do. Why? What do you want to do? Pull up!
Government is broke. The people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Good morning. Thank you very much for joining the show. This is Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. Today is the 24th of April, 2026, and this is the day the Lord has made. Indeed, we're glad that we're still alive and kicking, and we've returned here to join the nation's conversation on the big issues that are making the rounds in our dear country, Ghana. Today, once again, is the 24th of April, and it's a very special day because some very special people are celebrating their birthday today. I'll tell you who they are. But let me just say that GMG, which is a Good Morning Ghana show, is brought to you by Metro Digital. Metro Digital, your YouTube pages. I'm talking about Facebook, I'm talking about X, I'm talking about Instagram, I'm talking about TikTok. So all these pages that we have all comes under the Metro Digital. So yes, so the show is brought to you by Metro Digital. Let me just repeat it once again. So let me go straight ahead and look over the papers reporting this morning. And Daily Graphic this morning says Governor urges shift from diaspora remittances to investments. That's on the front page of today's Daily Graphic. There's also I'm here to win new Black Stars coach. All set to celebrate Asante as pillar of peace. Tobinko urges increased government support for pharmaceutical industry. The Ghanaian Times, I am ready for Ghana challenge. Queiroz, presidency backs NLA KGL contract, according to the NLA boss. 3 million Ghanaians vulnerable to food insecurity, according to reports. Government steps up fight against Galamsey, deploys drones next week. 3,212 earth-moving equipment registered, tracked. Daily Guide, government backs NLA KGL contracts, DG. OSP challenges no power to prosecute order. We're not illegal miners, angry Nzima youth to Ademos resources. Ghana among U.S. car theft destinations and the shift operations to local contractors government mining firms. The inside, Goma land regularization gains momentum over rule of Nana Abuata the second, and there's businessman Fingers Bank, judge, and Quick Angels balls in alleged plot and factory takeover. The GAF declares war on substance abuse, collaborates with NACOC to strengthen personnel well-being in barracks and others. There's Nyene Bauxite controversy, Lands and Mines Watch demands transparency, environmental safeguards and community consent. Energy Committee salute MPA over openness, support to Parliament. CPP Central Committee unveils interim leadership plan to resolve internal crisis. The Herald. Yoko insists Volta Region Council of States member not wanted, denies declaring Kwamega Atokpele fugitive in $14.3 million gold dispute despite 9th April press statement. GT Bank staff charged with stealing clients 12 million cedis, 600,000 cedis spent on online betting. And there's also Ghana's Foreign Ministry demands South Africa's action against xenophobic attacks. Parliament Energy Committee commends NPA's transparency. There's ex-IGP Portavia Kwe dies after prolonged illness. May his soul rest in peace. The Ghanaian publisher says angry Otumfuo slams ministers over Sampa. There's chiefs give government 7-day ultimatum over 1 billion cedis week compensation. And then there's a picture of the chief of staff, a very special person. Today is his birthday. 60 years of life, 60 years of purpose, and 60 years of national impact. And he says, today we honor Honorable Julius Deborah, a leader whose journey continues to inspire. Happy birthday, sir. And it says hashtag JD60, hashtag Julius Deborah at 60, and there's hashtag leadership, and there's hashtag national impact. There's also a past anti-LGBTQ bill in current form, according to Tampoli. Gabriel Tanko Atokple was not declared wanted, according to Yoko. Daily Post says Ekwapim Hene declares Ghana Medical Trust Fund and free primary health care as two essential life-saving interventions no government should ever think of scrapping. And there's CAT records 16% drop in institutional death in 2025. Gold Board engages small-scale miners to address purity losses and illegal mining. Julius Deborah marks 60th birthday with charity drive for Goma Fete Orphanage. The Catholic Standard says that PayPal, Apostolic Journey Africa, I am in Africa to encourage Catholics not to debate with Trump. And then there's an editorial, a pastor among his people. Hope in Africa, stop the war now. And there's GS releases critical funds for perishable food procurement. And there's Kofor says back businesses now. Ex-president insists Ghana's future hinges on entrepreneurs. Let me look at some other papers that we have this morning. And this one is... All right, so... Yeah, so BNFT says verify access to curb litigation in property and vehicle deals. And as mining industry highlights $92 million local manufacturing opportunity. Fragmented VAT systems threatening ECOWAS common market ambitions. And then you also have the Informer that says corruption fights, Senior Hosea slams political leadership. And then there's also Mahama Quakes mining giant over localization rules. And it's rest in peace, Papa. That's Porteria Kwe. Imani Boss blast AG over OSP cases as coalition announces showdown. Galamsey Leos fuel haulage workers as MPA warns of growing skills drain. The anti-Galamsey coalition pushes MPA catch fuel supply to Galamsey. The Daily Searchlight says Sam George exposed over hairy mouth attacks on Intim Fojo. And this fire at Akosombo substation disrupts national grid, causes power outages across parts of Ghana, according to Gridco. And then there's also the Wenchi Municipal Assembly to cut sort for the construction of 24-hour model market on Friday, 24th April 2026. And then there's former IGP Paul Teriakwe passes after a period of illness. And there's Wenchi Municipal Assembly generates over 2 million cedis in 2025 from IGF. The Daily Statesman says that Gamanche, Olu of Wari urge stronger African unity. And the GJA UESD partner to boost environmental reporting in Eastern region. And the teacher trainees hate streets in nationwide protest today. And then there's Dr. China accounts for stewardship as MPP National Treasurer. Aponyamakin pays fees at law of law students with 200,000 cedis. Major Online this morning says Ghana owes £5 million in unpaid stipends to PhD students in the UK. High Commissioner reveals you can't stay, work, and still claim stipends. High Commissioner Benson fires Ghanaian scholars in the UK. And as Greco probes Akosombo substation fire after nationwide power disruptions. City Newsroom says Publican AI key to transparency, revenue boost Deputy Finance Minister. And there's no contractor owed a PESWA under Big Push projects, according to Agboja. The Ghana Web says that I would deal with him if he repeats it. Free Zone CEO wants Pentecost chair over Galamsey. That's a very unfortunate statement. Very, very unfortunate. And it's regrettable. I think that she must quickly retract it. That's not how you talk to a man of God. There's Odobroni files 10 million cedis defamation suit against member of Team Legal Wives. From party builder to presidential contender, the calculated rise of Julius Deborah. Fantastic man. There's President Mahama engages CEOs, Network Ghana, and there's ex-Ivory Coast footballer Traore sentenced to 3 years of rape. Oh, God. MetroTVOnline.com. There's passenger trains resume on Kujokrom Second Takrady route. And then there's Carlos Queiroz promises equal opportunity for home-based players. And ECG announces 4-day power outages in Teshinungwa for transformer upgrade. And there's James Owusu leads MPP USA chairmanship race with 64%, according to a CIER polls. And then about 8,000 Meta workers to lose jobs in May as company invest in AI. And documents contradict claims in get-funded PAC appearance. Yesterday when I saw the document, I was very surprised. But, well, maybe we'll touch on that story briefly here on the show. So that's it for the newspaper and the online portal reviews. Please stay with us. This is Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. My guests are here, and I'll tell you who they are.
Julius Deborah was a gift to us, those of us who were working with Professor Mills in 2004. We actually met during the campaign. He had been very close to the campaign during the 2000 elections, which Professor Mills lost. So on our move again onto the, let me say, the campaign trail, his name was mentioned. That was somewhere around 2005, to be part of the team to work for Professor Mills, even when he was not in Ghana. That was my first time of really meeting him one-on-one, and it was quite exciting. I saw in him very lively and nice person, and that's when I got to know that he has a favorite nickname, Pa. Then we shout Papa. I saw a different politician. He wasn't at that time. I didn't see him as a politician. I saw him more as a businessman who was assisting in the campaign. There's no time that he will get to bed without calling to find out whether we're okay. Sometimes we had difficulties and with logistics, especially fuel. He was always ready to support. He was then much more in the eastern region. So when we finished with the work, it was his house, his bar, it was a restaurant and drinking spot all together. So that's why we're taking our dinner, we're having fun, relaxing ourselves before the next day. And it was beautiful working with Julius Deborah. But up to that time, I didn't see him as a politician, even though he had contested the Suhum seat twice.
I met you somewhere in 2015, in October. Now, my year story be, I know den against the National Democratic Congress. And when I was told so pursue Shiam, I even thought, say, only maybe I couldn't talk akra. But honestly, I met a gentleman and I met a father. I met Ubia, not dream yet, Juba, not Unimiansa. These are the people we need to build the society that we are all looking for.
Tanumo, onunchoni ha o dama, chichele wekun. Oyanu chumo, osole mojiake, ubawo nani, aya, baba shushu. Amen.
Finding the ideal property shouldn't be a daunting task. At MNC Properties, we believe everyone deserves a place to call home. That's why we specialize in providing affordable housing options under our flagship project, Fresh Property Joy, specifically designed for low and medium income earners. Our range of customizable homes includes 2 and 3 bedroom standard and executive options, all meticulously crafted using innovative interlocking brick technology. We understand the importance of simplicity and convenience in the acquisition process. That's why we have designed our procedures to be straightforward and hassle-free, offering flexible payment options tailored to your individual needs. In addition to our affordable homes, we proudly offer litigation-free lands for sale in vibrant and upscale communities that present the perfect opportunity to build your dream home. We are committed to making affordable housing a reality, providing you with the joy of owning a home that meets your budgets and aspirations. Whether you're looking to buy, rent, or invest, we've got you covered. Our service team is ready to assist you on 030-255-1917. MNC Properties.
Mommy, good morning.
Good morning, my son. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, Mom. How about you?
I'm fine.
Joe, I just saw your mom doing her usual morning routine. Like, it was just 2 weeks she underwent a major colon surgery.
Bro, see, my mom is doing perfectly fine, and we're all excited about it. It was minimally invasive surgery, and the recovery has been very fast.
Minimally? Hey! No, wait. What do you mean by that?
So they offered my mom a laparoscopic colon surgery. Laparoscopic colon surgery, which we accepted. It turned out it was equally safe with a very fast recovery time, and the cost involved too was very, very reasonable. She was discharged 3 days after the surgery, and you can see her, she's on her feet again.
3 days?
Just 3 days, bro.
Mean Tuber Hospital, first Ghana colorectal center, aimed to serve a peculiar health need.
Hey buddy, it's me Azar.
Yeah, me now they see. Hey, you don't look fresh.
Hey.
With your label today.
Wait till you see what's inside me.
Azar, freshly made inside and out for greater coverage and colors that last longer and beautify your walls, spaces and places. Azar, no size. Go ahead. Buy now. Azar, #1 from Azar Group since 1921.
Ghana for me chechi woni nara me din e de baby da pa me di ade sonko kra na ebremo nya ode to aduane mo ama waduane e de pa na me de bremo eno any some spices here e bu wa no bebre o various flavors ubenya e yakoko ubenya nempie ye di ku jollof mu ma emu ye de ubenya ne di ku nkwan mu ye di ku froye mu ho na kope bito na ema waduane enye de unye minia ye nkon ye konko tie nyankofo eka
autant de communication ni all enjoy oduba that some spices one in the essence don't hi I'm taking the yaga some spices in a sabiti daddy so say some spices mun some
spices nyama chicken
some spices yes
Nsaka
in Kitwa. Mixture 10 grams. Yawa chicken, spaghetti, garlic and ginger, stew, can jollof, and the flavors of Bebre.
Samu spices. Yes, saka.
FDIJ Jadien Kratoyatum.
Hello, my friends. My name is Calcate Toothpaste.
Wow.
I was made to be gentle on your gum, but protected. I will protect your teeth from cavity, make your teeth whiter, stronger, keep your mouth fresh all day. And best of all, I'm strawberry flavored. So put on a smile and try me.
That's amazing.
Just try me. That's my job.
If you say so, jump on my brush.
Makes your teeth stronger, chicky whiter, chicky stronger.
Yay! You did it!
I'm glad you like your new toothpaste. Don't forget to brush both day and night.
Calcates. Happy smile.
Hey, Unia, new release in Yana. Kaya gum.
A bitino was me new release. Me can no access fitemu hono. And na Turbotech Garages Limited. Akwafa besiesi amana aye nitia. Obiase ya car no.
Accident car no na. Turbotech Garages Limited. Amana se jina ne naso sa no.
Me se wo. Wo mo akwafa broni fita engineer efra brochiraba. And wo check cars no. Na wo hunu ba bia fault kro wo. And ho spare parts so wo de hye. Afenesi road. And so ho charges kakra bi o.
Turbotech Garages Limited.
Wo ye general servicing. Ebili engine overhauling, engine tuning, oven spraying, general electrical works, air condition installation work, BMU, upholstery, gearbox, make a
Turbotech Garages Limited.
Apart from sir, car that wotimi eto, and now trauma wono, was sign importation of cars, and who spare parts, if la butreba, wokoto car mawa, free.
Ace, also what you call
Turbotech Garages Limited, La Paz Malam Road, after Bayard traffic light, Bibiania for 0206 48 17 and 3 and 0542 96 11 11. Website turbotechghana.com.
Turbotech Garages Limited. Turbotech Garages Limited.
Your car beauty and the power boosters.
In my line of work, a confident smile is everything. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste keeps me on top of my game and ensures my smile is always radiant and bright.
With the tiring nature of my job, we spend several hours under the scorching sun. To keep our teeth white and our breath fresh all the time, we use none other than Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. You're on a Kessie and in a kit one.
Samayo Kendini, a who be here, Semetra Sapapadia to a mammy man for Kel Charcoal's natural ingredients, and a bomb is several buying, a man is swing, Nesanso Mama Hoto so a will beg you.
Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Choose Kel Charcoal Toothpaste for anti-cavity, whiter teeth, and fresher breath all day. Available in 80 gram and 150 gram. Grab yours today.
Kel, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Looking for the ultimate oil city getaway? Welcome to the Groove Etipon Beach Resort, where luxury meets adventure. Host your meetings and events in our fully equipped conference facility. Relax our sparkling pool, unwind in cozy rooms, satisfy your cravings at our scenic restaurant, and enjoy fun-packed recreational activities and a walk through our charming menus. Whether it's business, pleasure, or pure escape, the Groove is your perfect destination.
In the quiet pages of time, every great story begins small. A child with hope in his eyes, a young boy shaped by humble beginnings, strong values, and dreams larger than circumstance. No one could fully see then what destiny was preparing. But step by step, season by season, the journey had begun. Through sacrifice, discipline, and unshakable resolve, he climbed steadily through the ranks, not carried by privilege, but lifted by perseverance, not defined by where he started, but by the purpose burning within him. Shaped by the gentle power of a mother's love, he rose from the streets to the highest tables of national leadership. Today, his path has become a message to millions that greatness can rise from anywhere and service can open doors no title ever could. He has stood in moments that shaped history, beside presidents of our republic. Among leaders of nations, representing His Excellency and Ghana with dignity, wisdom, and calm strength. Yet, even in the halls of power, he never forgot where he came from. True leadership is not measured by office, but by how many lives are touched along the way. So, 60 years on, we do not only celebrate age, we celebrate a life of meaning, a life of loyalty, a life of sacrifice, a life that proves that one can rise through the ranks and still remain grounded in humanity. Happy 60th birthday, Honorable Julius Deborah. Your story is still unfolding, and your finest chapters are still to come. Cheers.
All right. You're watching Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. The show is also live on 94.1 FM. Good Morning Ghana is brought to you by Metro Digital. I told you that my guests are here. In fact, one of them is here, and I will be introducing him shortly. And he's a very, very good friend of this platform. He's been on this platform for many, 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 many years. He's a former MP for Tema East, and also a former Greater Accra Regional Minister. He's also a former Deputy Transport Minister, and also he's a man of many formers. Well, let me end with this and just say that I'm talking about the man Ni Kwate Titus Glover, and he's one of our guests today on the show. Honorable, good morning, and thank you very much for joining us.
Good morning. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Today is Friday.
Yes. In fact, there's one more title that I ought to add to the lady that I've mentioned, I've listed so far. The fact that you're a former Valco boss.
It is true. It is true.
Yes.
Good morning to yourself. Mimi anye few.
It's just say you do some. Let me add one more. Last one.
Okay.
He's also aspiring to become the next national organizer of the New Patriotic Party. I guess that I can end here.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's
all
fine.
Right. How are you, boss?
I'm cool. I'm fine.
How's life? How's politics? How's your party?
Well.
How be grounds?
Oh, so far so good. You know, the heat will begin after the constituency elections. First of all, good morning to your viewers, your good self, and the technical team.
Right.
It's been quite a while since I came around.
That's true.
But
which is totally unacceptable.
Country, as and when I'm called by the party to represent,
right,
I'll be available. So forgive me if you didn't see me.
That's true.
But today being Good Friday for the Juma, we pray that Allah Himself will grant us grace, favor, and protection over His wings. So anybody's desire this morning. Allah should bless him and lift him up. I'll begin by wishing my big brother, my Dangwe brother, Honorable Julius Debra. You know the mother is a Dangwe.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. And they speak impeccable Dangwe.
True.
That's what we speak when we meet.
Oh, when you meet, okay.
Yeah, he's a brother, he's a friend. And I think that Ghana is blessed with such a personality. He's not that radical type. I mean, in the NDC, you have the moderates and you have the radicals. And he's from that school of thought that is that moderate to make sure he deals with everybody, regardless of where you are coming from. Few occasions that I've interacted with him, you can see that he's very in-depth. He understands issues as to how we can all work together closely as one people, regardless of where you are coming from politically. So as he celebrates his birthday today, it's a long journey. In this 60 years, journey has not been easy. From the day he was conceived, through the gestation period of the 9 months till he was delivered, what his parents have gone through, from crèche to nursery, primary, secondary school, university, work, politics, religion, family. He's gone through a lot. And I think that some of us will still count on him to do more for the family and nation. As a chief administrator of the presidency, he carries a lot of responsibility. And you need cool heads like him, to drive government machinery across the length and breadth of this country. So as he celebrates his birthday today, I want to join the family, the friends, to wish him well. Ask for God's blessings, wish him long life, good health. And he likes a lot of exercise.
Yeah.
You see him always doing a lot of exercise and all that. So, bro, on the Jomochunu, on the Petoe, Diane Yanibanamo, Kabusia Konga, Atrapongonakai, do your him. So, I wish him once again all the best and wish him well. Having said that,
but before you even go ahead, let me also say that he's somebody who's been my friend for a very long time. Close to like 20 years. In fact, I met Mr. Julius Debra in 2007. At the time, I was with City FM. It was my former boss who introduced me to him and said he was a good man. So we should. At the time, I think he was the Eastern Regional Chairman of the NDC. And anytime there was NDC politics, especially when it has to do with the Eastern region, would call him and he would respond to the issues. But I found something very different about him. He doesn't wait for you, the media person, to call him just because there's an issue and you need him to respond to the issue. But he would proactively call you once in a while and say, "Hey, Mama, how are you? Hey, Charlie, I'm not here, And I thought it was different, because people say politicians always want to take so people do not trust the genuineness, let me put it that way, or the honesty with which a politician would want to be your friend. People say, well, the politician sees you as their tool and not necessarily a friend, But in him, you could see genuine friendship, and he tells me that once his spirit aligns with you, that's it. He's not perfect sometimes, when the pressure becomes a lot, when the pressure gets to him, maybe you try to call him a couple of days, get through to him. And that's with everybody anyway. But from time to time, he would either reach out or would call him. And since then, he's kept the friendship. On his birthday, he would send you a message and say he's inviting you over and so on and so forth, And I just thought that he's a different guy.
Yes,
he's a very different guy.
Indeed. When he was a local government, that was when I got closer to him.
Oh, yes. And at the time, Neil Vanderpoy was his deputy.
Yeah.
You remember?
Yeah.
Yes.
That was when I got close. I was there in Parliament.
Yes.
That was when I got closer.
And that was when he had been moved from the Ghana Tourist Board. At the time, it was a board. It wasn't an authority.
Yeah.
Straight to Minister for Local Government. Yes.
And he started this monthly sanitation cleanup.
Yes. It had the likes of VIP and so on. Yes.
So I felt, look, is a friend that you can lean on.
Yeah.
His affability, moderation, his communication, top notch.
Yeah.
I've never seen him angry.
You left something out. His accessibility.
Accessibility.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Even till today, as chief of staff.
I call him, he picks. When he see my missed call, he will return.
Oh.
You got the idea, I'm so
Yes.
Nothing.
Yes.
Just want to check up on him.
Yes.
But I have an unfinished business with him.
Okay. He knows that. He knows that.
He knows it. He knows what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So I just wish him well. Where he is, some of us who can't come there. Today is his birthday, so we use this platform to wish him well.
Right. You know, recently he defended his doctoral thesis.
Oh, okay.
Yes. I'm yet to get the information from which institution. Okay. I'll get that. But he defended his doctoral thesis.
He deserves it.
I'm sure that in the next few days or few weeks, he should be.
You deserve it.
He should be conferred.
PhD.
Yes, a PhD will be conferred
Proper
on him to become Dr. Julius Deborah. Yes, Dr. Julius Deborah. And you know, there was a picture of him that came up recently where he was standing at Harvard Uni.
Okay.
That's in the United States of America. And some people were reading all kinds of meanings into it.
Oh, what is it?
Apparently, he's on some kind of a 6 weeks,
they have that
refresher course.
Program.
Yes, program at Harvard, and that's what he was taking part in. But I'm sure that he's back in town.
Okay.
Because I was told that yesterday he would be back in town.
After
there were some activities that was organized yesterday to mark his 60th, ahead of his 60th birthday, which is today.
Oh, okay.
And you notice that I think one of the newspapers actually carried it. It must have been. It says I think it's the Daily. Yes. So it's a Daily Post, a paper. It says Julius Deborah marks 60th birthday with charity drive for Goma Fete Orphanage.
Thank you.
And the pictures are all over the place. I don't know whether Bright, I don't know if you have those pictures, but the pictures were all over the place when he was celebrating the eve of his birthday at the Goma Fete. Now, I'm trying to get that story. I was looking at it this morning. I don't know why it's escaped me. But since we're celebrating Julius Deborah as he turns 60 today, I just thought it would be a good idea for us to read that story before we proceed with the other issues. Yes, so here we go. Yes, these are the kids there, the Goma Fete kids. Yesterday, they were fed, and quite clearly you can tell that they are very, very, very happy. So those are the pictures you see on your screens. In fact, it's also in today's, so that's the Daily Post. It says the chief of Goma Fete, Nana Abo Atta, has received a delegation led by Benjamin Suman, who is a special aide to the chief of staff, Julius Deborah, ahead of a donation exercise to the Village of Hope Orphanage. And it says the visit forms part of preparations for a donation being made on behalf of the chief of staff as he approaches his 60th birthday. Speaking during the courtesy call, Nana Abo Atta welcomed the initiative and commended the gesture towards the orphanage. I warmly welcome the delegation and appreciate the thoughtfulness behind this visit and the intended support for the children of the Village of Hope. Mr. Suman explains that the gesture reflects the Chief of Staff's commitment to social responsibility and community support. It says this donation is being made on behalf of the Chief of Staff, Honorable Julius Deborah, in anticipation of his 60th birthday. It is his wish to use this milestone to give back to society, particularly to the vulnerable children. He adds, the team is committed to ensuring that the support reaches the intended beneficiaries. We're here to ensure that his gesture translates into meaningful support for the children at the Village of Hope Orphanage. Also present at the donation exercise were the members of Parliament for the Medina, Francis Xavier Sosu, and Legal Counsel to President John Dramani Mahama, Marietta Ejewabru Apia or Pong. You know, another thing that people will tell you they know a lot about the Chief of Staff is that he's also a very generous person. Yes. He's a very generous person, and so I'm not surprised that he's doing this for the kids. Kids are wonderful, aren't they? So let me just say that happy birthday, Mr. Julius Deborah. Yes, so that's the picture I was talking about. Harvard Business School. Yes, Charlie, the one, the big man. It's a 6 weeks program. I think that so he's completed it, so he's back home. He was back home yesterday. Some people try to make mischief out of this, but that's fine. Ghana is a very free country.
Now, what do you think about this?
Sorry?
Where is the mischief from?
I don't know. But it's okay. It's one of those things. But
sometimes you need some of these things. I never had funding to go on this program.
Oh, really?
Yeah. My first day in Parliament.
Okay.
I never had the funding.
Yes,
It's normal.
Harvard Business School. That's what I wanted. I was looking for. Julius Deborah, soon to be Dr. Julius Deborah. Look, as for me, I've just penciled something down, or I've penned something down to just share with them, which is that for me, 60 years is 6 decades of life, love, and laughter. And laughter that deserves a huge celebration. And I'm wishing you a wonderful 60th birthday. Now, with 60 years behind you and so much still ahead, today is a perfect day to pause and enjoy the love surrounding you. And also 60 years of being unique. Stay just as you are. And happy 60th birthday. May your day be filled with the same joy and kindness you shared with others, as well as your generosity as well. Happy 60th. Well, now you can officially use your age as an excuse. 60 is the new 40, just with better stories. Now, I like what the publisher has put on their front page. It says 60 years of life, 60 years of purpose, and then 60 years of national impact. And so, on behalf of the Ignite Media Group, Metro TV, Original Radio, Original TV, we say, happy birthday, sir. May the Lord continue to guide you, protect you, and to grant you your wishes and your aspirations. Everybody does have an aspiration.
Of course.
If you don't have one, you don't have an ambition, you don't have an aspiration, then maybe it is time for you to leave the earth.
Mm-hmm.
You ought to have one. And all I can say is that whatever it is that you wish and pray for yourself, may God, may the Almighty Allah make it happen. Inshallah. Happy birthday once again, Mr. Soon to be Dr. Julius Deborah. But don't forget to invite myself and Ataisa and Titus Glover to your birthday bash. I'm told there's something big coming up during the weekend, and I'm told it's strictly by invitation. So well, please don't forget us. Every year you invite me. This year, don't forget me. Anyway, you know, he started some how do you call it, a keep fit exercise where well, in fact he still does it in his home, where he invites a group of friends to come around, and he likes to keep fit, and he's been doing this for many years, and that's why you see him. He always looks sharp. He doesn't joke with his health at all. He doesn't joke with his health at all. Anyway, so I mentioned the name, and the name I've mentioned is actually right here with us, and that's why I mentioned the name. I'm talking about now the man who is the member of Parliament for the good people of Sa'anarogo constituency. So he's called Ataisa. He's the honorable member of Parliament for the people of the Sa'anarogo constituency. He soon would also be Dr. Ata Isa. He likes to do things quietly, but I've exposed him. Yes, I've exposed him with my sincere apology.
No problem.
I'm sure that he would have wished that when it's done, he would come out and announce it to the public. But journalists, we talk too much. That's good morning.
Good morning.
Good to see you, my brother. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing very well, alhamdulillah. It's always a pleasure to see you.
Thank God.
And I hope the family, constituents, everybody's fine.
Yes. Everybody's fine.
Yeah. We've been celebrating your very good friend, the Chief of Staff.
Yeah.
And today he turns 60.
60 is not...
Yes.
Is
what a milestone, eh?
Yeah. Let me say good morning to my senior brother and to your viewing public. I think 60 is a great achievement in itself, the number 60, because this life is borrowed. nobody knows how many years you spend on earth. So if you are given the opportunity to live up to 60, you can only give thanks to the Almighty. And what a best way to celebrate a greater achievement by reaching out to the poor and the needy. And on this auspicious occasion, he chose not to lavishly just party, but also remember that there are people in society that need support. So the donation alone is an indication not only as a social responsibility, but as a call to duty by the Almighty that whatever that you have achieved, remember, it is God that gives you the excess. And to choose it wisely by spending it on the orphanage is a clear indication that he remembers the call by the Almighty. And for me, I say that resources are not by strength, but are by will and grant of God. So spending some portions of your achievements with the most vulnerable in society is a mark of good leadership. So I will join people of Ghana, both here and the diaspora, in wishing our senior brother a happy birthday. He is our chief of staff and a distinguished politician, a business mogul, and above all, a solid humanitarian. This is not just because we are in government. I have, on numerous occasions, also participated in his other birthday programs, and I see some level of similarities. This is not ostentation. This is something that he has done, and 60 is a unique number, and I'm sure he is just continuing what he started. And also to congratulate him for the academic achievement, both at the Harvard Business School and that of the soon-to-be doctor. Achieving those at this age is not easy. Yeah. One would have thought that he's done with education, but he still strives for success. Yeah. That is an indication to everybody watching this morning that there is no limit to academic pursuits. Just be determined and look for opportunities. When I was in the university first degree, I had somebody who was almost 54 years at Lagos. So we used to tease him that, at this age, what are you looking for? But today, the gentleman is in Canada, almost through with his PhD also. So it tells you that this number 60, yes, of course, is the retirement age, but it doesn't retire your brains.
I like that.
As for the brains, God, it is what has been destined for you to live on earth. So the little time you have, you need to make good use of it. So to that end, I would like to congratulate him once again and wish him a happy birthday. For the keep fit, yes, it's good. We must all take care of our health, and leadership, demonstrating this impactful leadership should let all of us emulate that lifestyle so that you are not one morning a notice being given about you going too soon. Sometimes if you take care of your health, it's important. So I think that he has demonstrated some level of impactful leadership. And look at those surrounding him, very youthful. And it also shows some level of the culture of nurturing by him. He has taken my brother Daud Aspi, who was with me from 2014 thereabouts, but now he's at the office of the chief of staff. So I see growth also there, and his ability to nurture the young talent of the NDC. Yeah. And it is commendable. And to all those young folks with him, I just encourage you to be patient, because he has done it for others, and if you are patient, you also get there. That's what I'll say.
All right. So once again, happy birthday. You know, the Kwewu Business Forum, which brings together businessmen and entrepreneurs, you know, what Kwewu to think through Ghana's business, a business environment or business climate, and basically bring up some of the issues that the business community have and to look at how to deal with those problems. You know, apparently he was one of those who was part of the conceptualizers, if there's any such word. Those who
he is.
He actually came up with the idea.
Because the president
himself, yes,
said
acknowledges that.
In a flight, he mooted the idea to him.
Yes.
So
yes,
I think it should be credited to him.
Yes. Anyway, so yes, Mr. Julius Debra, congratulations. And thanks, sir. No, sorry, before you come in, there's something that Tatis Global wanted to say. So you, after congratulating, after wishing Julius Debra happy birthday, there was something else you said you wanted to talk about.
I saw something on social media.
Okay.
It's gone viral about this lady called Mary Awusi.
Mary Awusi, yes, Dr. Mary Awusi. She's the chief executive officer of
Free Zones
Ghana Free Zones Authority. Yes. What's the issue?
Apparently, she was responding to the chairman of the Pentecost Church when he was talking about the Galamsey fight.
Okay.
In fact, this man of God, as one of the consistent men of God, right from our time, who spoke against Galamsey, its impact onto our society and all that. And I recall when the NDC were in opposition, they used this Galamsey so well to propagate to power. His Excellency the President said, when he's made the president, he's not interested in those who are doing the by-day labor of the kingpins of the Galamsey. Is his focus. Today, what do we see? It is worse than our time. And when we were telling the president that his own party people are neck deep in this fight, at the point he couldn't believe us. Until recently when he confirmed himself. You will see some guys in national security uniforms holding weapons, locking up Forestry Commission officers who are state workers fighting the Galamseyers. You see these NDC tags, holding weapons with national security tags. What is happening? So if consistently you have people who have realized that it doesn't matter who is in power, and this man of God has found his voice, just like the Catholic Bishop Conference, who has been consistent. And most men of God are quiet. They use their pulpits to attack Nando, President Nando, and the vice president at the time. They've all gone quiet. So for this lady, I saw it on Accra FM. He's gone viral, threatening the man of God that if you want to discern, they will treat him like a politician. I felt that statement was bad. Because he didn't say anything bad. He never threatened anybody, except that he wanted to be consistent in the fight against Galamsey. Because when you were charging the previous government to declare state of emergency, you said when you come within days and weeks, you could end Galamsey. And today is an albatross on your neck that you cannot even fight. So we need critical contributions to remind the president and his government things that he said in opposition and what is being done now. So for this lady to descend on the man of God, I felt, Moro, it was far below. Far, 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 far below. So if she's watching us, I think the right thing for her to do is to retract and apologize to the man of God, because it tells you that they are not intolerant. They are not tolerant. They can't accept criticism. You have the opportunity to attack, call names, but you are not tolerant enough. This tells me that in the office that she occupies, she's not even ready to take criticisms. This is clearly so. Because the office that you occupy, Free Zones Authority, is a creation of statute. So where you can come out, now they are in power. So they should take off their campaign, opposition campaign, whatever, and sit and work. But this concern for the man of God is legit. And I see nothing wrong for her to come and attack him, threatening him that he's going to deal with him like a politician. Then my former company, Vaco. In fact, today is what, Friday? On Wednesday, I was coming to Accra. Earlier on a Tuesday, there was some problem in the plant where I'm told some red bands were hoisted and the union was trying to prevent an investor from coming to the plant to do some study. When I was there was a lot of attempt to get investor because currently the state of Vaco isn't the best that you can talk about. They need retooling, you need capital injection, whether it is equity financing or floating of shares, just to raise money so that we're able to bring the plant up to speed. And my union chairman was being interviewed. At the point, he became a bit emotional to Communal Santé and all that. Then I was called to make an input. I want to tell the current acting CEO that he should not make the attempt to stop the president for whatever he wants to turn the plant into. I just want to tell him. When I was CEO, was my finance director. Now he's acting. He must give the president, the minister, and GIADEC to look at how they can transform the plant. As for the union, their issue for me is about job security. Because any union will always want to protect its members to make sure that the new investor who is coming is not going to throw some of his members away. But I'm told that that assurance has been given and nobody is going to be affected in terms of job losses and all that. The CEO must give opportunity for the president to bring whoever he wants to bring to come and turn the plant around. When I was there was a lot of things that we did to make sure we uplift. But I can tell you that I've told the union they should pull down all their red flags. The banner that they've hoisted at Vaco is not for sale. They should pull it down, engage. They should engage. On the same show or the same interview, the GIADEC chief executive also called into the program. And I told her that, look, you need to sit and engage. The union, the board, the workers must all work together. It's like a bouquet. If everybody's shoulder is under the wheel, they will all push towards one direction. But when one is saying a different thing and that is not going to help. So I want to tell Zambian, please, you cannot stop the president vision of how he wants to tell Vaco. After all, you are a servant. So you should be very careful. Because I'm told other people have been coming to the plant without any problem. Why this particular investor who was coming to study what was happening? I don't think that is the right thing to do. So these are my few preliminary comments I want to share with you.
All right. We need to take, sorry about that. We need to take a short break. And when we come back, I'm sure that you would have, you want to respond to something you said?
Not respond.
You want to something you want to add to what?
Okay. You
have a few comments
found
to
a
make.
way to sneak in.
Okay. All right. So stay with us. This is Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. Keep watching the show. Don't go anywhere.
Part of the campaign for the 2024 elections, we came to attend the Kwawu Easter celebrations. And while we were planning the trip, my friend and co-conspirator, the Honorable Julius Deborah, formulated an idea that as part of attending the celebrations, we should organize a forum so that I could use it as a platform to explain what my economic policies were going to be and how they were going to assist business people to be able to transform their businesses and grow their businesses. And so we contacted a few business people, and they thought it was a brilliant idea. And so that is how the idea of the Kwawu Business Forum was born.
Finding the ideal property shouldn't be a daunting task. At MNC Properties, we believe everyone deserves a place to call home. That's why we specialize in providing affordable housing options under our flagship project, Fresh Property Joy. Specifically designed for low and medium income earners. Our range of customizable homes includes 2 and 3 bedroom standard and executive options, all meticulously crafted using innovative interlocking brick technology. We understand the importance of simplicity and convenience in the acquisition process. That's why we have designed our procedures to be straightforward and hassle-free, offering flexible payment options tailored to your individual needs. In addition to our affordable homes, we proudly offer litigation-free lands for sale in vibrant and upscale communities that present the perfect opportunity to build your dream home. We are committed to making affordable housing a reality, providing you with the joy of owning a home that meets your budgets and aspirations. Whether you're looking to buy, rent, or invest, we've got you covered. Our service team is ready to assist you on 030-255-1917. MNC Properties.
Grab your bottle and unleash the taste of Storm Energy Drink. A bold flavor, a big attitude, feel the vibe, own the moment. It's your time to be different. Storm Energy Drink, make your mark. Excessive drinking can be detrimental to health, not recommended for persons under 18 years, lactating mothers, pregnant women, and people sensitive to caffeine. This advert is FDA approved.
Yes, next. Hey, Nadia Benson.
Me didn't tum. Mr. Friend me calico, just call me cockroach. Now, Mr. Friend me once now.
Hey, that's you.
Improve car.
Yeah. Captain Mosquito, double the action.
Me did this sasso spray. Mr. Friend is sasso quell.
Yeah, go to my sasso.
Come tum preko.
Hive Management Systems, in partnership with the Solid Waste Association of Ghana, invites you to the Green Go Hub official launch and fundraising event. Theme: Powering the Circular Economy with Smart Technology, with a focus on incentivizing segregation at source. Join us at the Mamfi Hall Gimba Green Hill campus on Thursday, 7 May 2026 at 10 a.m. Our special guest of honor is Niayi Bonte II, Bese Manche Adonte of the Ghana State, Chairperson, Nanama Entry, Executive Secretary of the Environmental Service Providers Association. Keynote addresses will be delivered by Honorable Samuel Nate George, Minister for Communication, Digital Technology and Innovation, and Professor Nanama Brown Kluche, Chief Executive of the Environmental Protection Authority. This event is proudly endorsed and supported by the Ghana National Plastic Action Partnership, the Environmental Protection Authority, the Ministry of Environment, Science and Technology, the Ministry of Communication, Digital Technology and Innovation, the Environmental Service Providers Association, Zoom Lion Ghana Limited, and Indigo Foundation, with media support from Media General, UTV, Metro TV, MX24, and 1957 News. To register as a sponsor or donor, visit www.gringo-hub.com or call 054-342-7085. Your fundraising host and MC will be Mr. Alfredo Kanse. With strategic partnership from Globalware, the East Legon Executive Fitness Club, Blue Skies, and Margins Group, this event is powered by MTN as the official title sponsor. Be part of the movement towards a cleaner, smarter, and more sustainable future.
Changing, so should you. If you're dreaming, don't be afraid. And in the valleys, keep your head up high.
Puma drinks, a whole new vibe. Another quality product from Casa Precon.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
You're still watching Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. The show is live on 94.1 FM. So please tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. Ataisa is here, MP for the good people of Satnaragu constituency. And also the man Ni Kwate Titus Glover, former MP for Tema East and also former Greater Accra Regional Minister, former Valco Boss, and a former Deputy Transport Minister. He's with us here on the show. So gentlemen, you know what? Oh, yes, you want to pass a quick comment?
Yes, just a quick comment. So, yes, I just, before this morning, I had not seen the publication on the CEO of Ghana Free Zones, what he said about a pastor of our revered country. So I was hesitant to comment on it, but my senior brother has shown me some publication attributed to her. Yes, I would say that men of God in general, of diverse faiths, are highly respected personalities of our country, and they are persons of great influence in our political landscape. So the way and manner that they are addressed, we must always be guided with our utterances. However, there is a fine difference between addressing commentary made by men of God, sometimes when it has political inclinations or if it has some biases. How do you define, or what's the line that you can cross? This is not to justify what has happened. So I think that whatever the CEO is, she must do the needful to make sure that we are able to build a society that is built on discipline and self-respect. Having said that, tying in what she said to the comments that Galamsey has worsened under NDC is what I found to be not accurate, in the sense that the outcome of every situation has measurables. What are you measuring it against? Is it the turbidity level you are using? Or are you using the cost of treatment of water? Are you using the health matrices or the economic matrices? What exactly are you measuring with to know it has gotten worse? But since NDC said in opposition, I have not seen any publication endorsed by the NDC, either through our manifesto or through the public commentary of President Mahama and the leadership of the National Democratic Congress, to the assertion that we will end Galamsey in few months or few days. How do you end something that is multifaceted and has been a canker for some years? So that alone, maybe one or two commentaries would have been made, but that does not represent the official position of the party. If we strike that type of argument, it means that all those reckless comments that have been made by individuals of the New Patriotic Party represent the official position of the party. And I don't want us to strike that type of argument. The basic fact is that they were living at a time that there was massive degradation of our forex reserves. And that law, LI 2462, was passed by a certain president. And there were general calls for the president to revoke or repeal that law. And it fell on deaf ears. In fact, the current regional chairman for Ashanti region, or the aspirant for the national chairmanship position of the NPP, an aspirant, is in court over allegations of mining in forest reserves, Akonta mining. So, if for nothing at all, this is an indication that some level of illegal activities was happening in our forest reserves. As we speak, a certain president who never passed that law has repealed it. demonstrating his commitment to ending galamsey. The second issue too is that for the first time, look at the importation regime we have put at the Ghana Ports and Harbour. In fact, for you to import heavy-duty equipments, unlike in the past, where you could just go and import heavy-duty machines to Ghana without one tracking and the utilization of such machines. It is no longer the situation at the port. In fact, when you import any machine into this country of that nature, there are two options that you have to use it for. Even for lease and hiring, we have regularized that portion to mean that you cannot rent those machines. So if you are importing, the two avenues the government has put in place is you are either using it for mining or you are using it for construction. So if you are using it for mining, you are expected to obtain a written authorization and approval from the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources to the Ports and Harbour before such goods can be cleared. If you are also using it for road construction, you are expected to get authorization from the Ministry of Roads and Highways so that we stop the abuse and rampant importation of this heavy-duty machine that finds its way into our forest reserve and water bodies. So that is a major step. But you and I know that there were others, thousands and thousands of others that were already in the system. And it cannot easily be flashed out in a day. So that is why if you have been following, you realize that every day there are some level of confiscations that are going on across the country. Beyond just stopping it at the ports, those that are already stationed in the forests or in the water bodies or at the illegal sites have been tracked and they are what? Being confiscated. In fact, every heavy-duty equipment that leaves the port has a unique tracking ID where the movement of the machine is known from the port of origin and where it is located at any point in time. And once you disable that tracking design, then the national security looks for you to apprehend you and pick over the machine. This is not what we were witnessing under President Akufo-Addo, and that is not politics. That is the truth. The second issue too is that how do you license over 462 mining licenses just after you lost power? From December 8th to January 6th, you had licensed over 462 mining companies. What were you doing and you had not issued those licenses only for you to lose power and then you turn licensing all these companies to go and mine in our minerals depot. So I'm saying that these were signs of people that were inept, or these were signs of people that were involved directly in the operations of galamsey. And what the government did in terms of legislation is that, first of all, we abrogated most of the 462. In fact, only 13 passed out of the 462 mining licenses that was issued post the elections of 2024. This cannot be said about government that is not serious about the fight against galamsey. Then the licensing regime. Now, mineral licenses are rooted right from the community, where we have set up the community task force that will make sure that the environmental protection of their own community rests in their own hands. So any mining activities that will inure to the health, water bodies, and the economic degradation of our own people will be resisted at the community mining task force.
Okay.
This is a clear departure of what used to happen, where people sit in Accra and issue mining licenses for people to go into the community. In fact, sometimes those community entries they even do are so wrong. They don't even do consultation. So they used to implicate the chiefs, thinking that it was the chief that was engaged in illegal mining. Meanwhile, the licenses are issued in Accra.
Yeah.
That is a clear departure of what we used to see and what we are seeing now. The water guard processes that we have seen. Now, politicians involved in illegal mining. Yes, of course, there might be snippets of people in NDC that will be engaged in such activity, considering the fact that the economic benefit that they will drive. But you don't attribute personal ambitions of individuals within a political party to generalize the position that NDC is involved in illegal mining. Right. If that is extended, it means the same can be said. Because I remember in the run-up to the election, the current chairman for Health Committee, I don't know if Afri, I don't know if you know him.
Okay.
He stood in Obuasi and said, is the Ashanti region lands for the NDC to be fighting against it? that they like the illegal mining going on because the lands are for the people. So could we have taken that statement he made to represent the official position of the MPP? So we can call out individuals that are engaged in such heinous issues. But generalizing it to mean that because an individual in a political party makes a statement, represents the official position of political parties, I think that is something I have a problem with. And finally, community mining. Look, I have a problem, and I've raised it countless times in this studio, that it is not fair for the mineral depot that God has given this country, and yet we go and borrow $3 billion from the IMF when we have such huge potential in terms of our mineral depot. And let me tell you, Moro, in fact, in UAE alone, in 2024, we exported close to $6 billion of gold to the UAE market. But you know something? The current participating rate of mining concessions in Ghana owned by these foreign firms, Ghana has only 13% carried interest.
Interesting.
So when those goods are exported, Ghana receives only 13% carried interest. So any effort to localize the ownership of our own mineral resources, I am for it. I don't have problem when Ghanaians are given the opportunity to mine. So the idea of the community mining is to give some level of authority. And they don't have the requisite resources to mine in big mining concessions. So this concept of community mining, that is the way forward for us to promote legalized form of mining. Yes, there may be some isolated cases of illegal mining going on in the country. I'm not a hypocrite to suggest that it has been eradicated completely. It's still a survival issue. I've said that you cannot eradicate illegal mining completely without providing sustainable alternative. Not just alternative, because the alternative that we are always providing cannot give them the needed revenue that commensurate with the activities that they are doing. So any effort that you bring, that they look at the switching cost and they realize that what they will get from the activities that you are providing them will not be commensurate with what they are earning, or will not be at least getting closer to it, that will be resisted at all costs. And somebody says, the numerous arrests you do, the burning of excavators, might not stop them overnight. You know why? You and I know sometimes what they do to criminals. In fact, some communities take the law onto themselves. When they arrest it, sometimes they burn them. But that stops armed robbery from happening. So, of course, we have to deal with this matter dispassionately by not trying to drag in political insinuations into them and trying to prove a point. The point of the matter is that Galamsey is an existential threat and it must be dealt as such.
All right, that's fine. I guess that's one each. Let's move on. But Isa, before we move to our main topic, there's some education that I need on this. Yesterday, some of the papers reported something about an IMF forecast. And they were saying that it says IMF forecast Ghana's debt to rise to 53% of GDP by end of 2026. And the reason why this got a bit of analysts and industry watchers a bit concerned was that one of the main things that you've been trying to do as a government is to make sure that you spend within your means. In fact, your policies, even look at number of ministers, etc., all of these things are meant to do two things: fiscal consolidation. If I'm not generating more, I'm not going to spend more. You only spend more when you generate more. You took over when debt to GDP was hovering around 61.8%. And you came and brought it down to some 40-something, 43% or so. Now, if we are now hearing that this trajectory is going to experience some kind of a reversal, we have every cause to be concerned, shouldn't we? Let me read to you what has been captured on today's Ghana web, which was yesterday's Ghana web, and it was in several newspapers yesterday.
I saw it.
In BNFT and so on. I need him to put, correct this thing quickly and to sort of educate us on this, and then we'll move to our next topic. This is not one of the topics that we were planning to do, but I just thought once he's here, because of his finance background. It says the International Monetary Fund has projected Ghana's debt to GDP ratio. It will climb to 53.0% by the end of 2026, signaling a shift in the nation's fiscal trajectory. This forecast unveiled during the 2026 spring meetings in Washington, D.C. represents a notable increase from 45.3% recorded in 2025. Now, while Ghana's economy has expanded to an estimated 1.4 trillion cedis, the IMF latest fiscal monitor report suggests that the post-debt restructuring pressures may temporarily offset recent gains in debt reduction. The IMF report did not offer a specific breakdown of the factors behind the projected rise. However, it knows that government debt and interest rate projections are based on a post-debt restructuring scenario.
Yeah.
This indicates that the figures reflect the new financial reality following the country's comprehensive debt overhaul. Ghana's debt stood at 61.8% of GDP in 2024 with a debt total of some 726.7 billion.
Yeah.
Now, by 2025, the ratio fell to 45.3% as total debt decreased to 641 billion cedis. The 2026 projections suggest a temporary reversal of that downward trend. I mean, is there cause to be concerned?
Not actually.
Okay. Tell us why.
First of all, let me say that a 53% debt to GDP ratio is still within the sustainable means.
Okay.
So the IMF has an African benchmark where they're saying that African countries should do between 50 to 60% debt to GDP to remain sustainable, on a sustainable path. So even if Ghana reaches a debt to GDP of 53%, it is still within a sustainable means. However, let's look at what they said and why it is not supported by data. The IMF is a caution, I think so. If you read the IMF fiscal monitor that they did at the IMF spring meeting, you know, currently there's a spring meeting ongoing, and then so it was not only for Ghana. They have made that projection at their spring meeting for the entire globe. So people have gone to isolate the portion relating to Ghana. So I want us to tackle the Ghana, and I'll look at the African average. So I'm saying that this is a caution. And why are they? Look at the issues. In fact, I had something like that when I was coming. So if you look at the 53% debt to GDP forecast for 2026 from the IMF fiscal monitor, look at what they are attributing to it and why Ghanaians should not be concerned with it, because currently the trajectory that we have taken for 2025, if it's sustained, I don't think that we need to be worried. The second issue too is that, look, Moro, the IMF themselves projected that Ghana was supposed to end the year with 60% debt to GDP ratio in 2025.
Yes.
This was their projection. But later, they revised the projection and said that Ghana had outperformed the IMF targets. So they were saying that we would do debt to GDP ratio of 60% in 2025, but we ended the year with 45%. And they admitted Ghana outperformed all metrics that was set by the IMF. And the tool was their fiscal consolidation, spending within your means. And they have repeated it. Now, they are cautioning government of Ghana to resist the temptation of the post-debt restructuring. You know why? One, this is what the IMF said. The post-debt restructuring baseline. The IMF explicitly states its projections are based on post-debt restructuring scenario. This means that after the restructuring, we have deferred a lot of our debt into the future. Our economy has become robust. People will offer us low interest rates, so there's a temptation for government to go and borrow at lower interest rates.
Okay.
That's what they are just telling you.
Right.
So this means lower interest rate after restructuring, extended maturities. In simple terms, the restructuring reduces pressure, but does not eliminate debt accumulation. So what they are saying is that expected new borrowing plus fiscal deficit, even with Ghana's reform, Ghana is still expected to, one, run moderate fiscal deficit, borrow, especially domestically through bond issuance. Debt rises when net borrowing is greater than your repayment and they go. What they are simply telling you is that because of the debt restructuring program that has been implemented successfully, there is some level of decline in debt. If you look at the Ghana's GRN now, it's about 10.06. So multilateral companies and bilateral relations, if we return to the capital market, there's a likelihood that Ghana will be borrowing at lower rates. So any government...
And by GRI, you mean the Ghana reference rate?
Yes. And any government with the number of social contracts that we made with the people of Ghana, if you are getting money at lower interest rate, the temptation to return to borrowing is high. So the IMF has costed all our social projects. And they've realized that for us to finance this, we may need to what? Borrow, because there's an appetite to borrow. But what the IMF don't know is that, or they've forgotten is that, all these projects are ongoing through domestic bond issuance. And they are not debt accumulation. They are simply what we call debt buybacks. So you have a maturing domestic bond that you are expected to pay tomorrow. Then you say, okay, let me borrow today. It was already a debt you were supposed to pay, but it's matured. But you might not have the fiscal cash because you have other competing needs that you want to satisfy. Then you say, okay, then let me borrow today because the economy is favorable. Let me borrow that money today, pay that debt, then defer the new debt into the future. That's what they call debt buybacks.
Right.
Meaning that you are not adding any new debt. You are doing debt swaps. So government is not increasing our public debt, but they are doing debt buybacks or swaps.
Is that the same as smart borrowing?
Smart borrowing.
Okay.
Meaning that instead of
they're borrowing cheaper
to pay
offset a more expensive
debt.
Right.
And then you defer this current debt into the future.
Right.
So the IMF statement in the nutshell is just telling us that be cautious of the appetite
because
now.
the temptation is very strong.
And also, we are exiting the program.
Yeah.
And they have done their African baseline. Normally, when countries exit IMF program, there is a temptation to return to what they were doing before they joined the program.
Oh, so does that explain why? Sorry, does that explain why just a few days ago we had the president say that Ghana? You know, the president met the Eastern Regional House of Chiefs and made a statement that government would still stay the course.
Yes.
They say fiscal discipline.
Yes. Look, if you don't do
it was
that,
just yesterday.
If you don't do that, you return to fiscal deficit. And when you are doing fiscal deficit, it means that your expenditure is more than your revenue.
Yeah.
How do you finance that deficit? Either you do through taxes, of which you and I know that Ghana citizens already feel overtaxed. So the other option, or which is the easier way, is to go the route of borrowing. So if you continue doing fiscal deficit, currently we have a fiscal surplus of 1.6%. But if you go through the deficit, it means that you need to go to the capital market to borrow to finance that. And that is the temptation that the IMF don't want us to go. So people watching us should not be scared that the IMF said this means it's a collapse of our fiscal policy. No, the IMF is just cautioning that post the debt restructuring program and the exit of its program, government should resist the temptation. And I was just citing you, look, if you look at the IMF projection for 2025, they previously projected Ghana around 60 to 66% debt to GDP ratio. You and I know that Ghana achieved, what, 45%. Huge outperformance by 15 to 20%. So if, based on our performance in 2025, it will clearly tell you that government is deviating much from the IMF own projection. And the second issue too is that they projected that Ghana was supposed to grow around 4%.
Right.
In fact, that was what even informed the finance minister to put the growth of 2025 at 4, if you remember.
Yes.
And I heard those days, the conversation was that if MPP in a difficult situation that we described could grow the country at 5.3%,
okay,
why is a research government or Abampapa government is coming to grow the economy at 4? But we ended the year at 6.3.
Right.
So yes, projections are guides, but they are not sacrosanct. And Dr. Atuforsen has demonstrated that he can deal with that. But related to this issue, you remember they have also suggested that our current depreciation, you know, if you follow, for the past 2 weeks, there has been some level of depreciation in our currency. But what they forgot was that this decline is not as a result of overexposure to our forex. It simply suggests demand of FX. And why? If you know accounting very well, March, April, May are the periods where dividends are declared for companies.
Right.
After audited financial statements are done.
Right.
So this is the time for reparation of profits. So all non-controlling interest or controlling interest from offshore, outside Ghana, this is the time they are expecting their dividend. And you cannot pay them dividend in our functional currency, Ghana cedis. You pay them the dividends with their forex, which is the dollars or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm saying that this current depreciation that we are seeing, this is not as a result of a collapse of our performance.
Right.
It is just a system where we are saying that this is the time where the demand for FX by international corporations are exceeding the supply at the moment, because currently they are doing profit and dividend reparations to their owners. And I think that it is normal if you check our trajectory between February, March, April, May, always has some slight depreciation because of this tendency. So I think that Minister of Finance should also look at it to make sure that we have adequate buffers and forex, so that when this period come, there will always be foreign exchange to give them to honor that
There's
protection.
another issue which has come up, but I want to bring in, and I want you to...
Can I respond?
Yeah, no, sure. I'll let you come in. But before you come, I want you to consider this. But I saw a story in today's Daily Gist, whose managing editor is the former managing editor of the Daily Guide, and that's Fortuna Limi. And there's a story in today's Daily Gist that says that Atoforsen sabotaging ministers, it comes with a question mark, no cash syndrome hits ministries. I'll read that story, and then when Mr. Titus Glover is done, I'd want to pick your thoughts on that. But it says there's mounting economic, the story is by one Issa Olegor. Mounting economic frustration among Ghanaians is increasingly being linked to the stringent fiscal controls introduced by Finance Minister Kais. And I'm reading the story because of what you said about the fiscal controls.
Yeah.
Introduced by Finance Minister Kais forcing a policy direction that is not only reshaping government spending, but also intensifying an internal power struggle within the Democratic and the NDC, with the Minister for Education, Haruna Idrisu. Across markets, trading centers and small businesses, a common complaint is emerging: money is not circulating. Traders say customers can no longer afford basic goods, while business owners report declining sales and reduced purchasing power. From food vendors to spare parts dealers, many describe an economy where demand has slowed sharply, leaving goods sitting idle and incomes shrinking. These economic hardships are increasingly being tied, rightly or wrongly, to what insiders describe as an aggressive cash control regime at the Finance Ministry. Though officially framed as fiscal discipline, the reality on the ground is being interpreted by critics as a deliberate restriction of funds across ministries, departments, and agencies. At the center of the policy, it says government spending tightened, the economy feels the shock. At the center of the policy is a directive requiring that all public procurement receive prior approval from the Finance Ministry, popularly framed as no commencement certificates, no procurement, rooted in the amended public financial management laws. The above is intended to curb waste, prevent inflated contracts, and ensure value for money. While the Finance Minister is neck deep in the award of big push multi-billion dollars contracts under the road infrastructure, the same thing cannot be said about other MDAs as they struggle to get basic items as stationery for operations. Some state agencies that are self-financing and are liquid had got their monies cash out. The Finance Minister has swept all the funds under the claim that he needs money to pay maturing loans. Difficult agencies may get presidential reprimand for them to free their money to Atoforsen. According to Daily Gist sources, the recent agitations by government workers, particularly teachers, were as a result of squeezing of financial allocations to the agencies and the ministries with no budgetary support to pay the recently recruited staff, particularly teachers. The unpaid teachers, some of them have been working for about 18 months with no pay, cannot long bear the pain, and therefore march to the ministries. I'll get your thoughts on that, but I want to bring Tatus. The IMF projection.
Moro, thank you very much.
Yeah.
I think that's point of correction.
Okay.
We bequeath you with a growth rate of 5.7, not 5.3. So go and check your records very
You mean
well.
debt to GDP?
Absolutely.
Not debt to GDP. He's talking about growth.
No, you're talking about growth. I was talking
Economic
about debt to
growth.
GDP.
Borrowing. They started borrowing right from after this government came to office. On the 10th of January, through treasury bills, domestic borrowing, they borrowed 8.07 billion, 17 January 2025, 8.83 billion, January 2024, 8.16 billion, 31st January, 7.99 billion, February 7, 7.60, on and on and on, to a total of 59.68 billion. This was borrowed. But you see, borrowing per se, and when you look at these, there were three key things that they are using this borrowing. One, to pay salaries. 2, to finance budget operations, and 3, the rollover debts. Borrowing per se is not bad, but what you use the borrowing for.
Is what is
I
more
remember
important.
when they were in opposition, they were saying that we borrowed to pay compensation and consumption. You recall a few weeks ago, Atu was addressing
Labor.
Was it labor?
Yeah, it was labor.
When they said they have to go and borrow 17 billion cedis to pay government compensation. I thought they said the economy was strong.
Oh.
The economy was doing well. If the economy was doing
that's usual people in this
Can I
context.
finish, please?
Let you
When you were
finish.
talking, can I finish?
When
you tell us your economy is booming, it's doing so well, where from that? I keep telling you that this, the theory the NEC is practicing the economy, I don't get the head and tail of it. I don't get it at all. As we speak now, my brother, we are told that according to the Statistical Service, the inflation has dwindled to 3.2. Am I right?
Yeah.
Good. The CD and dollar has been stabilized. Am I right?
Yeah.
And we must sing some reflections in the lives of the people. President Mama on the campaign platform made reference to one of the American presidents or something. When they were talking about other things, then he said, talk about the economy, stupid.
Oh.
You remember what that statement he made?
Yeah, yeah.
So I want to draw the president's attention to this very statement. When you tell us the inflation is dwindled, CD dollar stabilized, it must reflect in our pockets. Maybe he's sitting here, you see, he doesn't pay utility tariffs.
I'm not Yusuf though.
No
problem.
Forgive me.
Yes.
Maybe he's been getting some money somewhere that the utility bills that he's paying, he doesn't feel it in his pocket. The tariffs that we are paying is not reflected in the salaries that they are paying public sector workers. It's so expensive. Okay, that is key. Number 2, you talk about releases. When the minority were doing the debates on the the budget, when you look at the projected and the releases that the finance minister was supposed to release to these agencies and ministries, it fell below 50% because he doesn't want to spend. He's holding on to expenditure to control inflation. When you do that, it affects the ground. Number 2, they cut off the heads of cocoa farmers. When we assumed office on the 7th of January, the price of cocoa per ton was hovering between 1,200 to 1,300 per ton. We never reduced their cocoa prices. We never did. But what did you do? Today, cocoa farmers are crying because you have reduced their income for every bag of cocoa, almost 1,000 Ghana cedis. And you said what? We should clap for you. As we speak now, I have nephews and nieces in Achimota school. They are paying PTA dues, 1,000 Ghana cedis, 500 Ghana cedis for feeding.
They're not supposed to pay.
They are paying. I have nephew who is there.
Oh.
The mother told me, 1,000 Ghana cedis in Achimota school, 500 cedis. These Easter holidays that they came, when they were going, they paid 500 Ghana cedis. And the average student in Achimota is over 3,000, 4,000. So what are we talking about? Again, look at the traders. The social media is so active today. I'm happy you are from the north. Look at how they are crying. Farmers have spent money, labor, pesticides to plant. God willing, they have good harvest. Today, a bag of maize has been dwindled from 1,000, 1,200 to almost 350 Ghana, yet they cannot buy. You go to Salaga market, you go to Techima market, you go to Gra market, everybody is crying. Whether it is a curse on us, I can't tell. It is a serious matter that we need to talk about it. So long as you are not spending, because it will trigger and go to the base. I've been posting you some of these what do you call it? Commentaries that these market will huge sums of yam loaded all over the place. They are not buying. Where are they getting the money for? Because you have squeezed all the money from the system. Because you want to control inflation, to make your books look good. But when you go to the ground, my brother, Ataisa, maybe you live in Mars, So you are not on the ground. Your constituency.
I thought you said I'm from the north.
You live in Mars, so you don't know what you're talking about. So these your economic indicators that
he's an LP. He lives with the people. He knows.
Please, he's in Mars. And sometimes he comes down to Sandarugu and go up again. So he doesn't get the reality. His people are watching him. My brother, his people are watching him. So this matter that we talk about, these inflation indicators is improved. You see, when they're in power, some of these things, when they talk, you don't want to listen. But the reality will hit you on the face. It will expose you. You get what I mean? So clearly, something is not going well. I describe this as aphrodisiac economy. Because indeed, if this is really happening, we will not be getting all these feedbacks that the people go to use AI to generate what? Duty at the port. When did this start? In our time, we were not paying so much expensive duties at the port. Importers are crying. Customs agents are crying. And you sit here and you say, what? Please, I don't get it. So for them, we leave that for the people to judge us. But the cost of living as we speak now. When the bomb, I heard the president was saying that what? When we're saying that Russia-Ukraine war was affecting global supply chain, the president, but the kilometers from here to Ukraine was about 5,000 kilometers, and what has that got to do with us? And at the point when the prices was reducing, they say, hey, abampapaba. Now that it has changed, from here to Iran is about 9,000 kilometers. Now the president said, we should do what? We shouldn't blame him. Who blame him? Because you set the pace. We don't want to be part of that narrative that is not from him, but as a genius. Not at all. Because so long as we don't have any hand, we are going to remind him, okay, of what is happening. For this, your economy, dear.
You shifted your position?
Moro. My position what?
The fact that external factors can have an impact.
No, when we were telling them the truth, they didn't buy it.
So why don't you stay in that same?
So what I'm saying is that we need to let Ghanaians know that when you scam, you use deceit to come to power, you'll be exposed. So that's what I'm telling you.
But have you shifted your position?
We have not.
Oh, okay.
We have not.
Moro.
All right.
We have not.
All right.
Please.
So yes, no cash syndrome.
No.
When you go, I'll come.
No.
When you
well,
go,
to be fair,
I'll come.
No, you can come.
No,
You can come. You can come.
Yeah, you can
So
come. Why
when
not?
you rebut, I'll rebut.
No, that's fine. That's
So
fine. Yeah, no, to be fair,
See,
yes.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
MPP communication team. But let me ask you, are you still contesting for the national organization?
I'm coming back.
Oh, okay.
Why you have a problem with it?
No. MPP
Maybe he wants to support you.
MPP communicators. If you don't find a way of tying them to topics, they run around everywhere. My senior brother has succeeded in boxing everything outside the scope.
What is scope?
No, he was talking about the economy. He was talking about the economy.
Please. In my submission, I already told you, what you read about domestic borrowing of 53 billion, you are only proving what I said. I said that what the government has done successfully is that we are doing what we call debt swaps or buybacks. So what have you said essentially? That's what I was telling you. We are not doing debt accumulation, but we are doing debt buybacks or swaps. So it doesn't increase the net accumulation of the Ghana's public debt. And when it comes to debt, MPP should be the least to talk about it. Saying we borrow 17 billion to pay salaries. Look, Moro, from Nkrumah to President Mahama's first term, Ghana have had 13 presidents. The combined impact of all of them, their borrowing, amounted to 120 billion Ghana cedis. Only President Akufo-Addo moved it to 726.7 billion after domestic restructuring. Inclusive of the restructuring, we would have been doing 836 billion Ghana cedis. Only President Akufo-Addo. This is the highest. In fact, President Akufo-Addo borrowing at a point led Ghana for the first time in our history, even under military regime, we never had it, a debt to GDP ratio of 104%. You people, as if you've been out of power for some 10 years. It is still fresh in our minds what you led this country through. Despite all this borrowing President Akufo-Addo did, despite all those things, they left us with a sinking fund of zero. and mortgage all state agencies' inflows to borrow more. In fact, for the smart fiscal regimes that Dr. Tufosin introduced, Get Fund, NHIA, ESLA, and Kokobo process would have all been to foreign companies. Government had to absorb it as part of central government debt. In fact, that is what led to the 45 billion debt increase in our public debt. Because we had to buy back those debts. This is the type of people that are now saying NDC borrowed domestically 53 billion Ghana. Abba. You led us astray. In 8 years, you borrowed more than 13 presidents combined 6 times. You see, reminding Ghanaians of this sometimes is nostalgic. But the truth of the matter is that we have to call them out. The second issue is borrowing to pay salary, 17 billion. Look, even the 726.7 billion after restructuring, the total tax revenue that we were using to pay compensation was around 72%. If you collect all your total tax revenue in Ghana, you use 72% to pay salaries. That was the situation you kept us in. So MPP should be the last to talk about how to, whether borrowing or, look, you over-borrowed. Why did you run to the IMF? In 2015, you said the NDC ran to the IMF because of what we call policy credibility, if you remember. Not because we could not meet our needs. At that time, we could not get loans at concessionary rates. Government approached the IMF through the Century Consensus. We advised you in 2022 to go for IMF because we realized that you were performing badly. You took exchange rate from 4 cedis to 17 cedis. We told you go to the IMF. Inflation rate at that time was about 54%. Ghanaians could buy goods this morning and go back to the market in the afternoon. It has changed. You said no. The Aquabomb was e-levy. You went around this country with taxpayers' money to do town hall meetings explaining why the e-levy is the way forward. We advise you that it's a float concept. IMF money is float. You don't tax flows. Because one money can be in Moro's account, he will transfer to me, I'll transfer to my brother, I'll transfer to that same money. Does not mean all the 4 of us has the money. It's one money floating all around. We said that is not a smart way of taxing. Number 2, we said that what services have we provided to tax that money? The communication companies tax us the 1% commission because they provide the platform.
That's a communication service tax.
So what do you provide? Meanwhile, at the end of the year, you charge them 25% corporate tax. So we said that's tax on tax. They didn't listen. The Aquamom didn't survive. They now approached the IMF at the time that Ghana was at its vulnerable stage. That is the legacy of the MPP. When Dr. Tufosin said he borrowed 17 billion to pay salaries, if you know governance structure, government has 4 ticket items: compensation, goods and services, capex, and then your statutory disbursement, and then you have your discretionary expenditure. When you allocate the resources, depending upon which one you prioritize, there will always be a deficit. So if he had mentioned salaries first, mentioned statutory items, it means that he would have said we borrow 17 billion to maybe do goods and services. It's just the arrangement. He was just trying to demonstrate why our local revenue that we are raising cannot meet these 4 ticket items. It was just itemization. So because he used compensation, he could have said, if you take compensation, if you take statutory payments, if you take goods and services, capex, we have to borrow money to do it. You would have still come here and said capex. So it doesn't mean that we borrow 17 billion to pay compensation. That's not the meaning, if you have followed him. The third issue is releases. That's the question. As a member of the Finance Committee, we met ministry, department, and agencies that appear before us. I can tell you, Dr. Atufosin has released close to 82% releases in 2025. 82%. As for minorities say they are not releasing, we will not release the way you used to release. Meaning that anything the ministry, department, agencies bring to you, you approve and find money to. That's not the style that we are running. What is the concept of the commitment authorization? We are saying that for you to do any expenditure, commit the state, bear in mind that there's a line item meant for that expenditure. So people are not comfortable with that system because they want some level of arbitrariness and discretion on the part of the ministry, department, and agencies. That is a thing of the past. You cannot commit this state into reckless expenditure and you want taxpayers to fund it. And let me give you an example. During the special audit that was done by the Ministry of Finance and Deloitte and Auditor General, I don't know, Moro, if you followed it. Yeah. We have seen that some IPCs were raised and sent to Ministry of Finance without even Ministry of Roads and Highways knowing, if you had followed the discussion over there.
Right.
These are type of reckless expenditures that we said, no. For you to commit this state into any contractual obligation, make sure that you approach the Ministry of Finance, which is the custodian of Ghana's public purse, to make sure that it has a specific budget line for it. People will not be comfortable. That's change management. So, point to us one thing that you said, we said we will spend. And let me give you the shocking thing. Government allocated 13 billion Ghana cedis for big push. Minority came and said, as at the time they were doing the press conference, government has only released 7 billion. When in that same document, that expenditure, government was saying that it's a multi-year expenditure. So when you are capturing, you don't capture the total amount of money you allocated for that project. You capture what is utilized within a year. This is just normal accounting. So what exactly are they saying government is not releasing money for? The last one. That's what I'm saying, that he has found a way of boxing in everything. Cocoa farmers. Moro, let's ask our senior brother. The time you were paying cocoa farmers $3,200, Ghana said, well, how much was cocoa sold in the international market? How much was it sold? Over 10,000. So to the cocoa farmer this morning watching me, if somebody sold your cocoa beans to investors for 10,000 Ghana cedis and in return give you 3,000, what is the percentage? 30%. And now somebody is selling it for 2,850 and giving you 2,587. That over 90% given to the cocoa farmer. And you are here saying that your time you were paying 3,000. Forgetting to mention that you were selling it for 10,000. Why were you giving them 3,000? That is the hypocrisy we are talking about. And to this, because they want to exploit the sensitivity of people, they move around cocoa farms, peddling falsehoods, saying that President Mahama has used the cocoa money to buy 4 private jets for his brother and himself. That is the level of politics that they are now engaged in. And I'm saying this, you cannot subject Cocoa Board. In fact, Moro, it will shock you. Right. In 2023, the board of Cocoa Board approved 489 million Ghana cedis for cocoa rules. Approved. If you know how public sector works, departments and agencies that are governed by governing councils and boards, the highest decision-making body of those are the boards. Board of Cocoa Board approved 489 million Ghana cedis for road improvement programs under cocoa rules. They exceeded the year without any revision to their budget to 4 billion Ghana cedis. Cocoa rules, that was a special audit. The last time I came here, I brought the special audit that was done by the Attorney General. That stated that the cocoa rules was a syndicate for corruption. Is that the level of economy that you want us to do? You made Cocoa Board became bankrupt. Cocoa Board, you sign onto a contract where you are saying that you collect the money from people with the funds, irrespective of how much cocoa is traded at the international market, you sell it to them at $2,661. That is what you did. When at the time, we said, if we're in government, without this contract, cocoa farmers would have been getting close to 6,000 to 7,000. It was based on the fact that cocoa prices at the international market was high. So don't compare this. Don't try to take on the minds of people to exploit the sensitivity of people because cocoa prices were slashed. Check the African average in our sub-region, whether they have done same or not. You cannot give what you don't have. You had mortgaged close to 53,000 tons of our cocoa to foreigners at 2,661 in your rollover contracts. And you have the audacity now to say that President Mahama reduced cocoa prices. Moro, let me ask you, we are all brothers from the north. He is also a northerner.
Okay.
Let me tell my senior, let's do this at every time. You have 2 household actors. You have the farmers, and then you have the consumers. More is that not it?
Yep.
If bags of rice, for example, is sold at 200 Ghana cedis, it will directly affect the farmer.
Right.
What about the consumer? Why are you doing your analysis one-sided? Consumers are now buying bags of maize and rice at cheaper prices. Who do we defend at this stage? Is it the consumer or the farmer? You thought when you were selling it at 800 Ghana cedis, people could buy. According to the Ghana Statistical Survey multi-poverty dimension report that came in October 2024, you had pushed 12 million Ghanaians into multi-poverty dimension, meaning they could not afford 3 square meals and they could not afford basic needs of lives. So are you telling me that we should have maintained 800 Ghana cedis as bag of rice when the average Ghanaian cannot afford a bag of rice? Is that the logic we should get? So I'm saying that this type of to exploit farmers, what you are forgetting is that people who are purchasing bags of maize for 200 or 300 Ghana cedis are mad at you because your time. I remember people you don't expect as an MP, people you don't expect to come and tell you that today they haven't eaten. They used to come to us as parliamentary candidates. Today, tomorrow, if you have 1,000 Ghana cedis as a landlord, do you know you can buy 5 bags of maize?
Right.
Some people need 5 bags of maize for months. That same amount could have bought 1. But today you could buy 5. So yes, government is addressing the issue on the farmers because what is driving this and why they are saying there is no market. Let me tell you why they are saying there is no market. I'm a farmer. I have close to 2,000 bags of maize myself. And I have rice. Let me tell you why there is no market. When you look at the cost of producing a bag of rice in Ghana,
before you go,
it's high.
To tell us why there's no market, we need to take a break. I beg you. But tell us why we need, why people are not, why, I think you said you want to explain to us something. Why people are not buying?
Yes.
Okay. Before we do that, let me just quickly, let's take the break. When I come back, I'll do it. There's a very important announcement that I need to make. So let's take this break now.
As the days come and go, there's always shit. Let colleagues explore all the planetary bodies. Our mission is in Uranus to treat hemorrhoids, anal fistula, anal fissure, anal incontinence, hydradenitis suppurativa, using laser ligature for pain-free and speedy recovery. On Uranus Street, Accra, is Main Tuber Hospital and Coloproctology Center. Trust Uranus with us and we will delight you. Visit Main Tuber Hospital today or call us on 0244 581 541.
Finding the ideal property shouldn't be a daunting task. At MNC Properties, we believe everyone deserves a place to call home. That's why we specialize in providing affordable housing options under our flagship project, Fresh Property Joy. Specifically designed for low and medium income earners. Our range of customizable homes includes 2 and 3 bedroom standard and executive options, all meticulously crafted using innovative interlocking brick technology. We understand the importance of simplicity and convenience in the acquisition process. That's why we have designed our procedures to be straightforward and hassle-free, offering flexible payment options tailored to your individual needs. In addition to our affordable homes, we proudly offer litigation-free lands for sale in vibrant and upscale communities that present the perfect opportunity to build your dream home. We are committed to making affordable housing a reality, providing you with the joy of owning a home that meets your budgets and aspirations. Whether you're looking to buy, rent, or invest, we've got you covered. Our service team is ready to assist you on 030-255-1917. MNC Properties.
Looking for comfort, convenience, and class all in one place? Welcome to Stay Easy Apartments on Conference Center, where modern living meets exceptional service. Whether you're staying for business or leisure, Stay Easy offers you a home away from home. Spacious and well-furnished apartments, pool, gym, and everything you need to relax and feel at ease. Planning a meeting, workshop, or special event? Our event grounds and state-of-the-art conference center is designed to host your events and bring your vision to life. From corporate gatherings to private functions, we provide the perfect space, supported by modern equipment and a professional team ready to assist you. At Stay Easy, your comfort and success are our priority. Book your stay or reserve your space today. Call us 020-739-1473 or 0244-226367. Stay Easy Apartments and Conference Center. Stay easy with us.
Wabedum Tamasun. Hey, Jay. Watch it, na learning. Missy, watch and learn. Makwaya mabesisia. Abozege. Akache say no ya konati and the more drink woman. Hey. But I didn't mean. Oh, sorry. She knew her old days. Eji. Dabio, baby wom. Ready. Hey, baby wom. Ah, Aji! I'll cause some discomfort. Ah! Uncle! Sorry, well, Uncle, where would I die? Why your funeral? At your phone for Aerofield Trading. Sorry, it killed them all.
No mum share Nanda Daya was mosquito call is to do woman. Na say spray with them, sir. Try sima a dronum and sana co dynamo.
And Kratoi FDA Ajatum.
All right, you're still watching Good Morning Ghana on the Metro Television. I'm still here with Ataisa, who is a member of parliament for the Sakanerigo constituency, and also Mr. Titus, Titus Glover, Titus Glover, a former MP for Tema East and also a former Greater Accra Regional Minister, and also a former Valco Boss Chief Executive Officer. Yes, Ataisa, you were trying to explain to us why people aren't buying these products.
Itself. And it's a concern, though, looking at the cost of investment.
Let me just quickly do this before you go ahead, I beg you. Let me just quickly do this. I just want our viewers to know that at 10 o'clock, we're crossing over to the Labadi Beach Hotel. There's a very important event that's coming up there. It's under the auspices of the Ministry of Communications and Digital Technology and Innovations. It's the National AI Strategy Launch. It's happening today at the Labadi Beach Hotel, and it will be live on Metro Television at exactly 10 a.m. So the Ministry of Communications, Digital Technology and Innovations is organizing the National AI Strategy Launch at the Labadi Beach Hotel today, and yours truly, Metro TV, will bring it live here. So please don't go anywhere. Watch the program and watch this launch and let us know what you think about it when we come back on Monday. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So I'm saying that looking at the cost of producing a bag, in other countries, in Singapore and other countries, they can tell you that for you to produce a bag of rice or a bag of maize, this is how much you need to spend to achieve that bag of rice. So then you add your margin to it to get the profit you should expect at the end of the day.
Right.
Ghana, we don't have that right statistics. So if you look at how much we cultivate an acre of land, last year was about 200 Ghana cedis per acre. You look at a bag of fertilizer, which was around 450 to 500 Ghana cedis. You looked at the back of the chemicals that we use for weedicides and all those things. When you sum up, and the workers to even harvest, sometimes they take you 200 cedis per acre to harvest. There are a lot of expenditure that you incur in achieving the bags of rice. Now, when you spend all these monies and get the output, and then the market forces, because Ghana doesn't do price control. We are not in a fixed regime where President Mahama will go to the market and say, charge it at 200 Ghana cedis. And let me tell you also, it is not because people cannot sell, that's why they've reduced the price. No. It is the functions of the demand and supply forces. They all know the market conditions of our country. So you cannot outprice. If you overprice, this is a bag of rice or cereal market is what we call in economics perfect competitive market. Buyers have perfect knowledge of what is going on, and they take decisions based on available information. So you cannot They know that in Kumbungu market, a bag of rice is sold for 300. If you come to Taban and sell it for 600, they will switch to Kumbungu to buy the rice. So this is normal, perfect information that is available to consumers also. So it is the demand and supply forces that has created the price. Now, what is influencing producers here is the cost of production. That's why governments must deal with the issue of cost of production. And let me be honest with you, we buy rice and maize every day. Let nobody lie to you that people are not buying. We buy it every day. What people are rather doing, suppliers are rather doing, is hoarding. And if you look at seasonal flow in the past, when harvest comes early, it is normally cheaper. People go and buy in bulk and store in warehouses. So as you are approaching the new season, that time crops, those things are no more available for household. Then they bring it out and sell it at higher prices. That used to happen. But now, they cannot do that because, you know, we're about to start farming season in May.
Yeah.
Yet, people are still holding plenty stocks because they are waiting for, in finance also, demand. What factors that influence demand? There's something we call expectation of future increase in price. So they are thinking price of these things will increase in the future. But I used to advise them that it will not increase because if you look at the prevailing market conditions in Ghana, it does not necessitate to an increase in the commodity price.
Okay.
Publican AI at the port, GRA, under President Akufo-Addo, GRA, they did a report. Compliance. I will land in 2 minutes. Yes, they did a compliance audit, and they realized that declared values at the ports, what was supposed to come to Ghana as total import volume was about 153 billion.
Okay.
Meanwhile, only 56 billion was recorded in the ICONS program.
Okay.
So I'm saying that there is a need for us to do something about it. I have on many occasions raised the issue of we could have done it in a phased approach, engaging more with stakeholders, and also the appeals processes can be expedited to make sure that concerns of people are addressed. Okay. But do you know that since we did this, nobody, it is only in the media, the appeals program that has been given, nobody has been able to challenge that he has been overpriced. Of course, when you introduce a new system, that we said that there has been issues of undervaluation. The idea of the AI is simple to make sure that we have consistent valuation.
Okay.
Now, nobody has brought us something to say that I bought these goods at the origin at this, and I was supposed to pay this duty, and this is how much you've given me. That is not what they are saying. What they are saying is that I used to pay this before the system. Now I'm paying this. You are paying this because of classification. Because we are saying that every goods has its own classification for you to charge the right duty. And that is why I tell you that the initial standoff that happened in the past, where all the stakeholders in the maritime industry declared a strike. Do you know, a few days afterwards, there was some level of backtrack from some of them because they were taken through the appeals process. And in fact, all those that made the press conferences and the strike declaration have all been taken through the appeals process. The Deputy Minister of Finance has engaged extensively. And I can tell you, appeals processes are yielding results. People are getting to know the truth behind it, and they know that is the way forward. You brought a data platform. In fact, Dr. Baume in 2022 said that they have introduced, that was when he introduced the benchmark prices at the ports. He said that they are now doing a new AI, paperless, they complained of increase in prices at that time. I can pull you news items in 2022 where freight forwarders and Association of Exporters and Importers complain about increase in this as a result of the benchmark pricing.
Okay.
So it has always been the case. What we should rather do is to perfect the system to ensure that Ghana gets the right declared FOB prices that can determine the right values to be paid. I don't know that when those import duties are paid, it is for the development of this country.
All right.
And then war on Iran. I said 1 minute. I'll give you the rest of the time.
Okay, cool.
No, war on Iran.
No, but you can't take all the time.
No, I'm not taking all the time.
Please.
No, the war on Iran. No, let the host. I beg you. He said the war on the Iran issue. No, I have to say something about it.
He started it.
After that, he can continue. You said we are ending at 10. He said we are ending at 10.
You know what? You know, he's been sitting here for too long. Just listen to him,
please.
He has raised all those issues.
Please. After that,
I won't talk again.
Just 1 minute.
I'm not saying
just 1 minute.
Because you are raising the issues
You raised all
who
of them.
started?
You raised all of them.
So I'll go back again. So
one
please.
Yes.
Iran.
The Iran war.
Middle East.
No, please. The Iran war. Look, don't compare apples to oranges. Don't do that. Nobody said the war on Iran didn't have extended impact on Ghana. We have always maintained that Ghana is not immune to externalities.
You mean the Ukraine-Russia war?
Ukraine-Russian war,
Yes,
sorry.
yes.
COVID-19, Ukraine-Russia, all the excuses that they give. We never said that it shouldn't have an impact in Ghana. But we were saying that the impact that we are experiencing from those externalities is because it is severe in Ghana because of underlying macroeconomic difficulties that we had. We had always been straight with that. The second issue is that look at the impact of Strait of Hormuz having on global economy. Can you compare the Strait of Hormuz to that of the Russia-Ukraine? Is the Russia-Ukraine war not happening? What measures did you leave behind when you left to mitigate the impact of Russia-Ukraine that we inherited? Okay. It is happening. Venezuela, the world mineral depot, the largest world mineral depot president was taken. We are seeing many other global tensions across the globe. Yet government remain resilient, and government has taken proactive measures to cushion the average Ghanaian. Okay. So don't compare Iran-Israel war to that of the Ukraine-Russia.
All right. Onuba.
Moro.
Yes, sir.
It's not the too much shouting that Isa was seen on national television and the propaganda here. The reality is on the ground. The people are watching us. So sometimes when you're in government and they talk and you feel that what you are saying is the truth, the reality is on the ground. That will check you. As we speak now, are you aware that on the 21st of March this year, the Afrobarometer report said the average Ghanaian condition has worsened from bad to worse, 66.9%. The Afrobarometer report. This is a very important indicator. It's all over the space that people are watching. So when the Honorable is on high horse, saying that everything is rosy, is good, Atu is doing magic, President Mama is doing wonderfully well, this is an important indicator that is telling us that, look, the conditions of our people, including those in Sandargu, are shot up from bad to worse. You may mention that we borrow. Yes, we borrow. But when you borrow and use the money judiciously, it comes to use. Let me walk your viewers through some of the projects that we've done, some of these things. I recall these water projects in Adaklu, when the president commissioned at the time, costing about 11.5 million euros. That really targeted about 95 communities, altogether about 87,000 people, 89,000 people. The Korean Exim Bank also funded the Wa Water project, $55.5 million. We did all these things, including what project? Educational institutions. Look at these STEM schools that we have. One is in Pasingpe, one is Weja here. You have one in Awaso. You have one in the Eastern region. What's the name of the place? In the Tiwan West. You saw this infrastructure all over the place, spread across the country. Road projects. You understand? So clearly, my brother, we can't sit here and say that all these loans that were taken, excuse me, nothing good came out of it. But so long as we can pinpoint to some of these things that we are doing, it is good for the nation. You get what I mean? So it's important that we try to address some of these things. Apart from these STEM schools, go to some of the secondary schools. Because of the free SHS, we realize that it lacks infrastructure, dormitories, classrooms, dining halls. All these infrastructures were provided at the place at the time to make sure that we do it. The Prempeh International Airport, the Tamale International Airport, extra funding was sourced to make sure that we're able to improve the conditions of our people. So, my brother, don't sit here and think that these monies that you made mention of are not being used for a good cause. And again, let me tell you, you talk about these excavators. Me, I grew up in the Porto. I grew up in the port. Between 2025 until now, when you look at the quantum of importation of excavators, the port even don't have a space to keep them at the Golden Jubilee Terminal. You go to Eastern Naval Command in Temanu Town, it's parked there. You go to dry docks, they are parked there. Because your party is in power, your people have a free hand. Why are they importing these things in your country? It is because there's a motivation. Because they cannot do anything about it. That is why the port don't have space and they push all of them into the Eastern Naval Command to keep them there and the dry docks. So there is a concern about your fight and commitment against Galamsey. They voted against us because they said we're not doing well. But when you come, you are going to create the magic and do wonderful. What are we seeing? Ghana Water is still complaining. You know how much they are spending to treat the water? What they were spending yesterday is more expensive than what they are treating the water, the cost of it today. And Issa said we shouldn't talk about it. When you said you are good, you are the very people you know who are doing the Galamsey, you know them, they are in your party, you know them. I keep saying this matter. Tomorrow, National Security Coordinator briefed every president every morning about the security situation in the country. Is President Omar telling us that he doesn't know his people who are doing the large-scale Galamsey in this country? He knows. But his hands are tight. His hands are tight. There is nothing that he can do about it. So all those young ones who are going for their daily bread at the pit side, they are not the real perpetrators of the devastation of the environment. The real kingpins are there. He knows them. So go to them. They are the people that you need to deal with. And stop all these cacophony of noise as if you are doing so much magic. Yes, you've arrested Muntumi because you said you want to what? Serve as an example. He's been going to court. He follows the due process all the time. But what are you doing? Your quest to fight the Galamsey is a mirage. You're only making noise as if we are doing much. Nothing has changed. Nothing entirely has changed at all. So clearly, we want to say, and we insist, that the conditions of our people in this country has worsened. The Afro-Barometer report is telling us. So if you are telling that they are, what do you call it? The markets, the traders are assuming there's going to be price increases for that they are holding. This is not deliberate hoarding, no. Moro, this is not deliberate hoarding. It is because people, the propensity to buy is not there.
Okay.
Meanwhile, the farming season will start. I'm happy he said he's a farmer. It's a good call. Because the money you spend to cultivate, and you will not get in return whatever you produce earlier to sell, how are you going to get the motivation to go and cultivate again?
Right.
So the cocoa farmer and the ordinary farmers, cashew in our time, they were paying about 2,500. Do you know how much they pay? About 700 cities.
Okay.
And he said the cashew farmers should not complain. They have to complain. Okay. Because under NDC, under President Mahama, things are worse.
Okay. Let me do this. Let me bring in some of our viewers before, if there's time, we can move on to our next topic. Now, this one here from Samuel Brian Boabing, and he says that is Mary Ewusi okay? Why does she think who does she think she is to speak like that? Does President Mahama really have the power to warn the chairman of the Church of Pentecost for commenting on the Galamsey issue when he has admitted the members of his own party and appointees are neck deep in it? Does she know the Church of Pentecost's contributions to the economy? Where is this apparent arrogance of power coming from? Mr. President, call your disrespectful appointees to order. Samuel Brian Boabing. Sam Akukeli from East Legon Hill says, good morning, Moro. Oh, so Honorable Titus Glover has so soon forgotten that it was former Vice President Mahmoud Bawumia who first said that how possible was it for external challenges to jump over all African countries, including Nigeria, Togo, and Cote d'Ivoire, and affect only Ghana's economy. In politics, it pays a lot to be consistent and resolute in what we believe in, no matter the unshakable tests we operate on. Taking stands that are based on which side of the political divide we find ourselves can be damaging to our political credibility. Let's ensure that Ghana remains the winner of all times and in all circumstances. But he says, I think Honorable Ataisa should be telling us that the temporary ban imposed by the previous government on the export of maize and other grains to the Sahelian countries that has now become a permanent feature is contributing hugely to the glut and low prices of our produce. As an industry player, I can surmise without any doubt that if immediately steps are not taken to lift the ban, we would end up killing the golden bird that lays the golden eggs. The sum effect would be that farming would no longer be lucrative enough, especially to the youth. We all know what the world means, what this would mean to our fragile economy. Papa Bisiu says that, hello, the MPP via Titus Glover have really not learned their lessons, hence they've refused to acknowledge the fact the majority of Ghanaians have totally lost interest in them. They should continue lying to Ghanaians. They will remain in opposition forever. Papa Bisiu Sphinx. Papa Bisiu, this remaining forever thing, you've got to be careful. I salute my brother Santa. Sani Saliu says that, what was the topic? Indeed, I'm confused here. Let Honorable Titus Glover know that even the sea doesn't reject water droplets from the sky. The fact that the government borrows to pay off or offset debt doesn't mean that all is not well. It is his prudence that matters, and that's exactly what Honorable Forsing is doing. Scandals in a scheme of things are inevitable, but if they are eluding us, we should wait. Once one comes, we will all pounce on it and lambast this government. Until then, we should tone down and relax a little bit. Good morning, Sani Sali, who sends that message. Now, this one here says that as you celebrate your milestone, also, so more and more congratulatory birthday messages are coming. It says, as you celebrate this milestone, Honorable Chief of Staff, Honorable Julius Deborah, PSCA, there remains an opportunity to reflect, to respect, and to respond and to restore. Leadership is not only measured by authority, but by empathy, not only by decisions made by the willingness to correct them when they cause unintended harm. History will remember not just what was done, but what was done thereafter. May this day inspire not only celebration, but compassion, not only remembrance, but renewal, and may it open the door to justice, fairness, and healing for the many young Ghanaians whose futures hang in the balance. Yagunu from the Sabulugu constituency. Carlos from Odododio says that now understand the MPP and why they say that review means cancellation. Regarding the economic issues and the IMF discussions, the MPP representative is deviating from the real matters and engaging in the usual political gymnastics they have practiced for years. Listen to him carefully. He's not making any economic or political sense at all. Again, I now understand why they recruit people who go around taking pictures and speaking on social media. They even send people to the markets to speak to selected individuals before the camera, so they can create the impression that things are not going well. This is pure populism. He's now using such examples to support his argument. It is a shame. That is why we're calling on President Mahama to ensure accountability and recover any looted state funds. Even recovering a portion of what has been misappropriated could help place the economy on a better footing. It says, even he, as a former regional minister, has questions to answer. Carlos, and I say, God bless you. Now, Moses Bawe, he says that, please, Honorable Glover, that we have been paying PTA dues between 500 to 1,000 cities to augment feeding, spraying, and other things, even during their era.
They stopped in our
time. They removed teachers from
lying.
PTA to create the impression that it was parents levying themselves. I have experienced it personally, and I know what I'm talking about. Kofi Apenu says that, good morning, hope your day started well. And it says, okay, this one is a personal one. Now, Reverend Jones Latte from the UK, you know he's a pastor and also a lawyer. He says that nothing personal against Mr. Glover. When he was a deputy minister, he was not good at picking calls. Before his appointment, he was picking calls. I called him several times as the Deputy Minister of Transport to make a suggestion on the free usage of Lashivis Community 18 Road onto the motorway. He did not pick my call. I know people who agree with what I am saying. Mohammed, who is the WA Central Comms Officer of the NDC, says that, good morning, my brother. I'm just following the discussion. It says, please, I respectfully request you help me tell Julius Deborah that happy birthday to him. Happy birthday to Dr. Julius Deborah. He says, today, I celebrate not just your birth, but the impact you've made in shaping leaders and serving with integrity. Your service to nation building has been marked by building people, providing guidance and teaching with wisdom. We are inspired by your continuous exemplification of selflessness and commitment to the cause of nation building. May this new year bring you good health, greater influence and the joy of seeing your vision for our people come to life. Cheers to more winter ahead, sir. That's Mohammed Tando, Upper West Regional Coordinator for Friends of Julius Deborah Institute. Thank you and God bless you, bro. And Delali Sopo, who is the Corporate Affairs Director of Ghana Post. Yes, he said I should say hello to you. He says, this is what he says. He says that regards to solid MP Ataisa.
My friend.
He's also tuned in. Now, this one here, let me read this one before. Eben from Kwabenya says that say something, Operation Galamsey now. Tag less of fuel tanker supplies to Galamsey and safe water bodies in our forest. Happy 60th birthday to Honorable Julius Deborah, who is our Chief of Staff. And then this one here said Musa Abattoir from Asawasi says, we celebrate Julius Deborah at 60 as a dedicated and influential statesman whose integrity, competence, and hard work have significantly contributed to governance, national development, and the success of President Mahama. His leadership continues to inspire, and this milestone honors his legacy, impacts, and ongoing service to Ghana. Happy birthday, Chief of Staff. Mark Ojoboafo says that, good morning, bro. The Honorable MP Issa should consider vying for the communications officer position in the NDC. He is such a fantastic communicator. Now, Godwin Eduzi Tamaklo, who is the Chief Executive Officer of the National Petroleum Authority, says that, look, happy birthday to you, Julius Deborah. Happiest 60th birthday. God bless him for leading us appointees. That's from your very good friend, Godwin, Eduzi Tamaklo, who is the MPA boss. I should ask Godwin when he's come to Metro TV.
Yes, he has to.
He has to be here. He'll be here very soon. He's a good friend of this platform.
Yes, he has
to. He'll be here very soon. Godwin, my producers are asking me to ask you when are you reporting to GT, appearing on Good Morning Ghana. So Alhaji Hamza from Pip Farm says, Assalamu alaikum. In fact, Moore, I find it difficult to go hard on my good friend and brother Titus Glover. Together we were friends in the UK before he left us. He said, let me use this opportunity to wish him in campaign to become the national organizer of the NPP, but he should be aware of the establishment candidate. Moving forward, Moore, I hope my good friend Titus remember very well that under their administration, the economy was rated as junk economy, but as we speak today, the economy of Ghana under the leadership of President Mahama has been rated B minus. Sorry about that. That is the difference between the NDC and the NPP. Now, happy birthday to lovely Gina Ghana. May this new year of your life bring you renewed strength, greater success, and countless moments of happiness. Wishing you a fantastic birthday and a year ahead full of greatness. That's from your big sister, Mary Ghana. Happy birthday to Sir Lord Reginald, a level 300 student on University of Communications and Business, AUCB. May this new year bring you good health, happiness, and continuous success in all you do. Keep shining and making a difference. That's coming from Sharon. There's also a glorious birthday to Mr. Benatei. May this age bring you renewed strength, greater success, and countless moments of happiness. It's a special one coming from your friends and family, especially your 2005 Adasco mates. Warmest birthday wishes to also Diana Agbanyaga. On this special day of yours, we ask God to grant you good health, happiness, and prosperity, and may you live long to fulfill God's promises for your life whilst you age gracefully. And that's it. That's some birthday dedications coming in. Now, Mark Ojo Boafo, who is a regular viewer of the show. In fact, he's watching the show since the last 24 years. He never misses it when, from the States. He says, good morning, my brother. The Honorable MP Issa should consider vying for the communications officer position of the NTC. He's also added his voice to a clarion call for you to do that. But he can't. He's an MP. I'm not sure that he wants to quit his MP job and vie for that position because the people of San Ledogo, they won't even forgive him. I doubt. I doubt if they will forgive him. But before we go, let me just use this 1 minute to correct something. So yesterday, there was, the Public Accounts Committee sat yesterday, and the chair of that committee made a statement, and which was captured on the Parliament's website, and where it was to the effect. Now, I want to read what exactly was captured on the Parliament website. Now, and the reason why I'm bringing this was because Metro TV reported this, but we actually came across a counter document that actually basically makes the comments that Abena Ose-Asare, what she made, very inaccurate and perhaps very unfair to the people at Get Fund. So this is what the Parliament, this was what was on the Parliament website. Now, I'm going to read this. Now, it says that, oh, okay. So, okay, I need to, I need to
the defense former director of procurement.
Okay. All right. So this was what was captured on the Parliament's website. It says the chairperson of the Public Accounts Committee, Honorable Abena Ose-Asare, has expressed concerns about the failure of the administrator of the Get Fund, Mr. Paul Ejay, to honor invitation of the committee to assist in dealing with abandoned projects cited in the 2024 Auditor General's report. She emphasized that some of the projects have been abandoned for more than 20 years, and it kept reoccurring in the Auditor General's report yearly, stressing that the Get Fund administrator could assist by prioritizing these projects. However, he has failed to personally appear before the committee, and to appear before the committee since the commencement of the committee's public hearing in the 9th Parliament. Then we find out later, because we were following up as a responsible media house to find out whether that was indeed the case. Then we found out that apparently that was not the case, and that the letter that invited Get Fund to that meeting actually states that, in fact, with the correspondence, that the correspondence said the Public Accounts Committee explicitly asked Get Fund to designate appropriate officers with relevant technical expertise to assist during proceedings. Now, there's a handwritten annotation on the letter further indicates coordination involving the Acting Director for Planning, Monitoring and Evaluation, Mr. Victor Tay, who was earmarked to attend and provide technical support during the engagement in the absence of Mr. Paul Ejay. This arrangement, which aligned with standard public sector accountability procedures, suggests that Get Fund's participation in the hearings was not absent, but rather structured through delegated technical representatives to ensure detailed project-level responses. And so the statement that Abena Ose-Asare made, Madam, was totally inaccurate. And I think that was very unfair to the chaps at Get Fund, and especially the Get Fund administrator. And we've not been fair to them, especially the administrator. I mean, this is about reputations. And all that we have is a reputation. I mean, once it is destroyed, we're done, we're finished. And so perhaps at some point the Public Accounts Committee chair will have to maybe set the record straight on this matter, because the documents that we have suggest otherwise. He wasn't personally invited. You asked for his representatives, and the letter is here. So I don't know exactly why Abena Ose-Asare said that, and so that was quite unfortunate. Anyway, so I want to say a big thanks to you.
Moro, let's do the
one of the texters was saying that I have serious questions to answer when I was in office.
He's not told us what it is.
Tell him I'm ready. Okay?
Okay.
He made mention of Aura.
Okay.
The AG is telling us they're both.
All right.
There's no evidence.
That's fine.
But the Black Star.
Okay. Oh, no.
I'm landing.
Our time is up.
No,
I'm not in support of white coach.
Okay.
Trust me.
Okay.
I'm not in support of white coach.
So we're crossing.
I've been in support of black Ghanaian coach.
Okay.
Even when Kwesi Appiah was kicked out
at
the floor of Parliament, I vehemently spoke up against it.
Okay.
And for me,
so
I'm not in support of this white coach.
No. So we're crossing over to Labadi Beach Hotel. The Communications Ministry, the Ministry of Communications, Digital Technology and Innovation are organizing a national strategy launch at the Labadi Beach Hotel. We're crossing over there to bring you a live feed of that very, very important event. Thank you very much for watching Good Morning Ghana. Assalamu alaikum and Jim Mubarak. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
So what do we do about this coach issue?
Yeah.